Peace, everybody. I'm in the building. We're gonna get started in maybe like 2 minutes because it's kind of late. Yeah, I had a lot going on. I thought I was just gonna be able to take my kids to the doctor, but a lot of stuff happened to me today. So yeah, we're gonna start in like 2 minutes. I don't want to be long. I just want to make sure I do this for the sake of completion. Shout out to my first moderator, Justin March, for gifting 5 memberships. Much appreciated. Every trip. Thank you. And people can go, get your own memberships. But matter of fact, I know what I'm gonna do. Again, while we wait for people to come in. Okay, okay. I guess we can get started now. Peace, everybody. Can y'all hear me? Shout out to you, Jimmy. What's up? Everybody, when you come in, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the stream. Make sure you do all that good stuff. You know, everything. Make sure you donate to me. You can. PayPal, Cash App. You can hit the super chat if you want to be seen. PayPal, Cash App if you don't want to be seen. Much appreciated. Yeah. Subscribe to my other channel. Also, you can follow me on all my social media sites. My DMs is always open. Again, shout out to Justin March for setting it off with the gifting of 5 memberships. You can get your own membership. Just hit the join button. And we're going to start right now. This is for the sake of completion because we started this yesterday, but we started it late. But we're going to finish this up with him talking about Roland Martin. So, yeah, we're going to give it about 30 more seconds and then we're going to start. So count me down. That is a fact. That is a fact. Okay, we can get started now. Here we go. This is part 2 of the Black Authority, the no Black Authority, the WAC Authority, the white no authority addressing Roland Martin. Let's keep going.
Themselves at that channel, we're going to be discussing.
Oh man, it started back over. Let me see.
Of our people. These are MAGA moves, the Democrats. Roland Alpha? No, not Alpha, not Alphabet, not Alphabet Soup. No, just assembling a viable talking point. Let's watch and check to see how many Democrats he talks to one-on-one for interviews going in, because we are so irrelevant, by the way. We're so irrelevant that Roland dedicated half his show to us. Pan-Africanists and whatnot. And y'all got to understand something. Pan-Africanists, I'm going there right quick. We're going to take a side mission. Y'all, we're going to go on a side mission right quick here. Pan-Africanists.
Sorry, I'm going to find the part. I had it, and then something just made it jump back, but we're going to find it.
These are niggas with the old weed. What? You know, they got the old weed that done dried out and kind of hardened up and bricked up. You know, they got to just get on the table and hit it a few times to get it to start, breaking down again because their weed is always old. Young niggas keep fresh weed. The Pan-Africanists, especially those, they keep old weed, boys. They keep a little bag of old weed, and one in the center console. That's what they do. So everything is old. The weed is old. The liquor is old. Everything just, they got some stuff in there. They drink some stuff you never heard of because they've just been sitting around for years. And so under these circumstances here, they think we count differently. And they smoke Newports and no filters on them. It's that kind of situation. They didn't get the memo, man. They didn't get the memo. They think we're all still on the Pan-African thing. That reparations vote at the UN, that was for Africa. That wasn't for us. So first of all, Greg, not only are you silly, but you're factually wrong, but I guess you're in good company. I guess this is why you're on the Bowling show, because, yeah, as I said, if you want to look like a fool, well, here you go. I tried to stop you. I tried to tell you, but you didn't let me. So, yeah, by the way, Greg, that wasn't reparations for us, dude. They were not asking for reparations for us at the UN. They were asking for reparations for Africans. So this is not comparing apples to oranges. This is comparing apples to cinder blocks. So furthermore, we have not gone to the Trump administration telling them with the expectation of getting reparations. But one thing we said is that we want to have an honest person. When we don't get it, we're just going to sit here and play this game that y'all are playing. Well, vote Democrats and maybe we can discuss it. No, just because you're a fool doesn't mean we are. Just because you want to get lied to doesn't mean we do. Neither one of them is going to do our bidding. We just done the smart thing. We got to walk away from the table. You know, like Iran. And guess what? They throw bombs on Iran, bomb on Iran. Iran is all Iran has to keep standing. America got to keep swinging. America's got to get knocked out. Iran doesn't have to get knocked out. Iran just has to keep standing. All Iran has to do is stand firm and keep standing. And that's what we're doing. Iran just got to walk away from the table and ceasefire. They say, yeah, did you have the terms of the deal? You don't stop all hostages across the board against us and everybody else. And America wouldn't play. Iran said, we're done here. We're done. And that's exactly what it's going to be. And shout out to Pakistan for hosting the ceasefire talks so Israel can't swing no bombs. Nobody. They tried that. Pakistan like, we got a nuke for you. So shout out to that. That's showing you the new young leaders because of the generation thing. What y'all did was you killed the old folk in Iran, Greg. All you old decrepit Pan-Africans. They killed the old folk in Iran. Now the young cats are in Iran. Since you killed their fathers and their grandfathers now the sons are running Iran. The sons and the grandsons are running Iran now. And you know they do things different. They say, yeah, we ain't going to the UAE and Middle East. All they were against. We don't hold these talks to Pakistan. Now let's see you try that little assassination thing that the UAE let you get away with. They let you attempt to assassinate our negotiators. The young cats are smart in that. Nobody gave Greg the memo about us. The young cats are smart in this, Greg. We don't understand Africans garbage. So if you got to be up your bonnet because Africa's not going to get something, all it really shows is how decrepit and out of touch you are. We're not even having the same conversation. We're not even the same discussion. Which is why you are where you're at. You're not representing anybody. I'd like to tell you all they were done at that point, because I know a lot's been said and things, but I'd like to tell you they were finished making fools of themselves at that point.
All right, we at this part. Now we can start. Peace to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like. Donate if you can.
But they were not. No, they decided to keep going. Foot to the floor. So I guess if you're going to make an ass of yourself, you might as well do it with your whole chest. I suppose you should do that. So Roland, because we are so irrelevant, by the way, we're so irrelevant that Roland dedicated half his show to us.
You dedicated how many episodes of your live stream to Roland Martin? I guarantee you, if I type in Roland Martin into your channel, his name comes up at least 50 times. But he's finally clapping back at y'all bozos about a very important issue, and now you're making it seem like he's clout chasing y'all. Roland is bigger than y'all. All of y'all combined in real life. Y'all couldn't get the audience or get into the rooms that Roland Martin could get into. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And he wanted to come back and say some more, but this just lets you all now know how worried he really is. This is how worried and shaking in his boots Roland really is. They didn't let him know, hey, dude, what this tells me, folks, and you've relied on me now going on for 2 decades. You've relied on me for 2 decades to give you the 720 degrees of analysis accurately, the reliable analysis that you receive absolutely nowhere.
720 degrees? That means you made 2 circles, and that means you're back to where you started. Like this is what I'm talking about. He tried to sound smart, but he really dumb. He only sounds smart to people who dumb or don't really understand the subject. Because, you know, a lot of people, you may not be dumb, but you knew the politics. He only sounds smart to them people. 720 degrees, you made 2 circles. That means you wasted a bunch of time and you back to where you started from.
Where else? I'm going to tell you what's going on. Roland got the email. Roland has gotten the email from the Democrats, and they're letting him know all the easy wins have already been exhausted. The governor's race in Virginia. Okay, but on the national stage, yeah, you ain't getting no traction. Y'all ain't in motion like that for the House and the Senate right now. You're not in motion like you need to be.
Peace.
And all the easy wins are over, and they must be seeing data. They must be seeing polling data that's letting them know, yeah, this ain't going to be no easy win in November. This isn't going to be an easy win. In a few places, you might.
No, the polling data is saying that it's going to be an easy win. He's just making sure we are a part of that win. Remember, this is why we know you don't follow politics. Everything is going against MAGA. This is why they talking about putting ICE at the voting booths. This is why they trying to steal the election. You don't try to steal an election that's going well for you. They know it's going bad. All these special elections that just happened already, those were not easy victories. Those were hard victories. Victories that that the Democrats never won. Trump's literal home area that's being represented by Mar-a-Lago, whatever the hell, which is a deep red place, has a Democrat representing it now. That's how much he's losing. Trump is falling off. MAGA is falling off. Yes, his hardcore base is still with him, but that hardcore base ain't enough to carry him through the midterms. As we saw, it couldn't carry him in none of the special elections. Like, you don't really know politics. Keep it going.
Might turn something over, but this is not going to be an easy win by the time we get to November. So, and we're seeing data that tells us in the black sectors in particular, the softness that we experienced in 2024 is not solidifying and hardening up. So you better get out there and show you're worth your salt and get that support firmed up, because our support in the black areas is still very wobbly. People are still talking to us about reparations. They sent Roland out to come and attack specifically to say all the things y'all are saying you need to do so specifically for black folk. Y'all need to stop saying that.
Exactly. The war is super unpopular. People pay all these high prices, everything. Like nobody wants Trump in the MAGA right now. Nobody wants to go to war. Nobody wants a ground war in Iran. Like everybody's mad right now. And he's losing bad. Nobody likes the way ICE was operating on the streets. Like, what is like this guy's is a complete idiot. Complete idiot. Nobody is like, Democrats are not sending out any emails to Roland Martin like, well, we need to make sure we win in November. We got to make sure the black support is solidified. No, what's happening is like what I said was going to happen. Trump won, And I said he was going to do such a bad job that the Democrats could run a ham sandwich and beat the Republicans. The only thing in a that's up for debate now is who's going to be the Democrat. Not are the Democrats going to win the general, but who is going to be the Democrats that win the general. That's why all the attention is on the primaries. That's where the battle is happening at, the primaries. The only way the Democrats don't win in the general is if Trump steals it successfully. What he's trying to do right now with ICE. He's already setting up. He's already setting that up. Like when he sent ICE to the airport, that was a trial run. Now it's like, oh, we deploy ICE wherever we think immigrants might be. And we got a problem with immigrants, illegal, quote unquote, illegal immigrants voting. So when we deploy ICE to all the Democratic districts, or the districts we know the Democrat people more likely to vote Democrat at, and oh, look, people can't vote. Oh, we won because we stopped all the quote unquote illegals from voting. Like, come on now. Oh, a sister died and Zanzibar. That's tragic. I didn't hear about this. I'll look into that. But of course, FBA wasn't going to speak on it unless they could use it to demagogue. Then they'll speak on it. But otherwise than that, no, they ain't speaking on it. But let's get back to this.
So that tells you he got his email. He got his email telling him, yeah, the support is soft in the Black community, and you need to get out there and tell them, vote for us, even if you don't like us doing nothing for you. And you better do it now in April. We need as much time between now and election day as we can get. You better go start the campaign now. That's what's going on. Don't worry. Eventually, the emails will drop. Somebody's going to go hack their emails and show that that's what occurred.
Because he's an idiot. Like I keep telling y'all, these people don't know anything about politics. And the ones who do are grifters and Republican shills. That's it. That's it. Like everybody knows you can't affect change in a political system, especially our political system, without voting. If you don't like what's going on, that means you need to run your own candidates and vote for them. Not just sit down and say we're not voting at all until somebody else props up a candidate that does what we want to see. That's not how you do politics. That's not how you do politics. Exactly. MAGA is losing right now. Losing bad. But his audience don't watch the news. His audience doesn't know anything about politics, so he can tell them anything, and they're going to just go for it.
What we're probably going to find out is they started slipping him a few, quote, advertising dollars. They started slipping him a few advertising dollars. Okay. Watch to see how many Democrats he hosts for interviews leading up to the midterms. Let's watch.
You got to stop doing this right now. Roland Martin is not a Democratic shill. He's a Democrat. He works with the Democrats. He's open about that. In fact, he did a whole segment complaining about how come they not spreading those advertisement dollars around to black journalists like himself. He's pro-Democrat, no different than MSNBC, which is now MS Now. How many Republicans do they interview? How many Republican candidates do they interview for the general election? Fox News, how many Democratic candidates do they interview for the general election? He's a journalist just like them. He's on, and it's obvious whose side he's on. He's not a shill. Not a shill at all. Shill at all. Y'all keep saying shill, and y'all got me saying shill. It's shill. Like, I don't get this. Salute. Peace and blessings. Like, come on now. Like, how are we gonna keep doing this? Oh, you talking about the sister who was in an interracial relationship and she died and nobody don't know how she died with the white husband? That's what y'all talking about? Yeah, I heard about that. In Tanzania? Well, I guess the part of Tanzania that she probably passed away in is what's it called? Is the Zanzibar part. Oh, shout out to President Jafar in the building. But yeah, You're a complete fool. Like, you keep making it seem like this is some kind of conspiracy theory. Roland has already made it clear that he's on Team Democrat. He's not hiding that. And he already made it clear he expects to get some of that money when they start doing the advertising. Like, there's nothing secret about what he's doing. He's not pretending to be neutral or independent like you guys are. Like, matter of fact, I think we're gonna look up the definition of shill. We're gonna we going to school today real quick. We're going to school today real quick. Give me a minute. I'm gonna look up the definition of shill. All right, y'all can see the screen. What does it say? Political shill. A political shill is a person who secretly works for a politician, party, or organization while pretending to be an independent or neutral supporter. Has anybody listening to Roland Martin, does he pretend to be neutral or independent when it comes between Republicans and Democrats? Has he ever pretended to be neutral? Has he ever said he was neutral? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Like, this is like, oh my God. They push a political agenda, discredit opponents, or manufacture grassroots support, astroturfing, while concealing their vested interests, oh my God, I'm running out of English, interest or payment. Has Roland Martin ever concealed the fact that he wants money and he's expecting money from the Democratic Party? No. Has he ever concealed the fact that he's pro-Democrat? No. Even in the beginning of this live stream that he's doing right now, covering Roland Martin's live stream, he said it. He made it clear that he's going to be interviewing a bunch of Democrats, and he wants people to make sure they vote for the Democrats. That's the whole reason he's beefing with FBA right now, because y'all telling people don't vote. Yeah, I saw that he beefing with Alex Jones. Yeah, Trump down bad right now. He crashing out. He down bad. Down bad. He beefing with everybody. Even his most hardcore supporters, he's beefing with them. He fired his Pam Bondi. He fired Kristi Noem. Like, he all over the place. Yeah, but let's get back to this. Okay. Yeah, let's get back to this.
Check to see how many Democrats he talks to one-on-one for interviews going into the midterms, going to November. Between now and November, let's watch and see how many of them that he talks to. Now I'll let you know that, yeah, they're coordinating again, like they always do. They're coordinating again. So here's his second set of remarks here.
When I listen to so-called loving black people who got lots of smoke for Democrats, but they don't say nothing about this here.
Exactly. Does that sound like a shill to you? That doesn't sound like a shill to you. I mean, that doesn't sound like a shill to me. Exactly. Roland was always a Democrat. Yes, the whole enlightened centrist podcast, the bros, they were all MAGA shills. Always. Always. And yes, I do believe they're getting paid. They're getting paid. They're getting paid. Obvious to a duck, they're getting paid. And they get paid to do this too, because, you know, like, the more anti-Democrat you are and the more pro-Republican you are, the more money you get just through advertising, and the more visual you're going to be, because a lot of social media sites are right-wing dominated. So if you give a right-wing message or a center-right message, that's more ad money, that's more viewers, and it's just easy to do. It's an easy grift. So even if they're not being paid directly by the Republicans, they're grifting the Republicans. They're grifting, which is how they're getting paid. Just like Justin March said, that a lot of the podcast bros, the podcast bros, a lot of them weren't getting money directly from Republicans or from MAGA, But they knew by pretending and acting like, oh, MAGA is just so great, and I don't know about these Republicans, and doing that, it would bring a bag to them. It would bring a bag to them. Everybody knows that. You don't get a bag by being pro-Democrat. You get a bag by being pro-MAGA. Because it's the easiest thing to do. Everybody knows that. You can keep saying the same old things over and over. You can say the dumbest stuff over and over. As long as what you're saying ultimately is telling people that the Republicans are the way, Trump is the way, MAGA is the way, you can build a following real quick and get a bag off that. You can't do it being pro-Democrat. You have to be like smart. Like I don't know how else to say it, but if you're talking about the Democrats and you're pro-Democrat, you better have some intelligence about you, because you're not going to be able to hold an audience with the same old slop and constantly contradicting yourself and being wrong on everything.
Okay. They got lots of smoke for Democrats, but they don't say nothing about this here. They don't say nothing about this here. And every once in a while, like I say, just these are the short bus ADHD kids, you know. It's just they're trying their best to come up with something resembling a viable talking point that they can refer to. They're trying desperately to do that. Desperately. And it's not working. So they just go to childish things. Why don't y'all talk about Trump? Why ain't y'all talking about Trump? What y'all saying about Trump?
How is that child? First of all, you're the one name calling, but you're calling other people childish. And how is that childish? By saying, why don't you talk about Trump? We are in a political system. There's two parties. To determine which party is best for you, you got to look at both parties together. You can't talk about one party in a vacuum, because if you talk about one party in a vacuum, you can make that party look like it's the best option. You can make it look like it's the worst option. You got to compare and contrast. Like, you have to look at both options. So how is that childish? Like, imagine somebody telling you, like, black people weigh in the benefits of being pro-Confederacy or pro-Union. Like, you and somebody saying, oh, you're childish. Or a Jew weighing the options of being pro-Axis or pro-Ally, and somebody like, you're childish. How are you childish for taking both parties into account and pointing out that one is worse than the other, and also pointing out that people who are supposed to be independent, supposed to be centrist, supposed to be moderates, supposed to be nonpartisan, are only picking on one side? How is that childish?
Why ain't y'all talking about Trump? As if because you don't really want us to talk about Trump. That's not what you really want. What you want us to do is to tell our audience, vote Democrat. That's what you want us to do. You don't want us to talk about Trump.
He does want you to talk about Trump, because if you talk about Trump, logically, anybody with two brain cells to rub together who claims to be black first would obviously be pro-Democrat. It's just that simple. I would, like, again, like, if I'm talking to, like, say if I found a Jew who didn't know anything, like I found him in 1943, he didn't know about World War II, and I explained to him what the Allies represent and what the Axis represent, and I explained to him about the concentration camps, the death camps, and all that other stuff. By me explaining that to him about both sides, I promise you that he would be pro-ally. Even though I'm pro-ally, I don't have to tell him to be pro-ally. Just me laying out the facts for him, and he's pro-Jewish and he has a brain in his head, he's going to be pro-ally. It's the same thing. When you lay out what the Democratic Party represents and what the Republican Party represents side by side, people with brains in their head say, obviously, I'm going to vote for the Democrats. Obviously, I'm going to be on the side of the Democrats. Obviously, like, any black person who's black first, who cares about the political system, is obviously going to be pro-Democrat. Like, it's just that simple. It's not a conspiracy theory. Like, oh, you don't want us to really talk about Trump. You just want us to tell people to vote Democrat. No, you know for a fact, if you talk about Trump and honestly talked about what Trump is doing and what he represents, people will naturally say, well, we got to get that man out of here, and everybody who support him. And the only way to do that is to vote for the Democrats. Duh. And if you were really smart and honest, your next line of arguments would have been like, all right, we got to get the Democrats in there, but let us come together and pick which Democrat we want to be in there. Let us raise up our own candidate, back them, get them in there. So we could get Trump out of there and we could get our guy in there. Instead of letting other people pick who's going to be the Democratic candidate, we'll pick them. And we'll make sure that they win in the general.
You don't want us to talk about what the Republicans are or aren't doing. You want us to tell our people vote Democrat. That's what you really want. Well, folks, why don't we go ahead and take a look at our track record here. As the anchor man of the new black media, why don't I go ahead and show you all our track record here? Now, we're going to do the whole rundown. And Roland, you show any of us if you have nearly as many programs or videos talking about Democrats as you've seen us talking about Republicans and Trump since he got reelected here. So, folks, I mean, we're talking about just yesterday, Trump attacked all his podcasters. Last week, Trump just went crazy on Easter. Trump is firing all his bimbos. Damn! Oh, because calling...
Look at this. Classic nonsense. This is the same thing Tommy used to do. When people used to call Tommy out for just attacking black women, he would randomly just start saying, well, on this day, I said something about white women. On this day, I said something about this woman, that one. We're talking about your whole body of work. You recently talking about Trump because he's doing something that's got him in the news. That's not the same. Like, these stories are big stories. You're algorithm chasing by talking about these. Like, that's it. You're not just talking about Trump as in what he's doing to attack black people. What does Trump attacking his podcasters have to do with black people? What does Trump having a meltdown over Iran have to do with him attacking black people? What does Trump firing Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi have to do with black people? The only thing that got to do with black people that I can see up here is the DEI thing. And you wasn't even talking about Trump directly. You talking about Charlie, wasn't it was Charlie Kirk who said that about if I saw a black pilot, I'm questioning about whether they qualified. You just happened to put a picture of Trump, but you wasn't talking about Trump. You didn't even have his name in the title. And again, you algorithm chasing. Did you do this video if it wasn't a crash? Do you do this video if we didn't have the situation with Iran? Do you do this video if he didn't attack his podcasters? No, you don't. That's not actually helping and benefiting black people. And that's not actually comparing him to the Democrats. Like Roland Martin is talking about politics, policy, and especially about how it affects black people directly. I thought y'all was B1. And what have the Democrats done that is worthy of Roland Martin attacking them? Nothing. What have they done? The only people that's even worthy of any attack in the Democratic Party right now are the lefties. That lefty class reductionist Nazbol faction, he should be attacking them more. But otherwise than that, what?
Pam Bondi a bimbo, according to Greg Carr, the venerable Dr. Pepper Greg Carr, apparently that's a compliment in his world. Like I said, y'all, just breaking down the weeds. Oh, look, those Africans demanding reparations that he thought was somebody else. Okay, fine. Oh, look, white DEI gets desperate with a picture of pilot and thief Trump there. Futile attempts to reverse George Floyd with Trump's big face front and center.
Yep. Yes, that's what Trump did. And again, you algorithm chasing, because he'd been talking about this. And y'all, when we was talking about this during the election season, y'all was saying it wasn't a big deal or y'all wasn't scared. And then you cry your crocodile tears over it. But again, if you was talking about this in context with the Democrats, you didn't say that, the Democrats wouldn't have did it. In fact, when you talk about Trump, you always attack the Democrats as well. It's never just an attack on Trump. It's never putting what Trump is doing in its proper context and how this relates to black people and how the Democrats wouldn't have did that. In fact, it's always out of its proper context, and it's always you spend more time saying, "Well, the Democrats would have did the same thing. In fact, the Democrats is worse." When we did part one, that's all you did. Every time you said something about Trump, you always made it seem like the Democrats would be just as bad, if not worse. That's what you do. So are you really covering Trump when you lie about what the Democrats represent while you talking about Trump? That's what I said. That's why I just said what I said earlier. It's never honest. You never honestly cover the Republicans and the Democrats. Never. Never have you honestly ever covered them. Because if you're going to say the Democrats would have did the same thing, if not worse, or the Democrats are just as bad, you're not honestly covering them. And you're shilling for Trump. That's a form of shilling, saying that's what Alex Jones used to do. Speaking of Alex Jones, he used to do that. He used to be like, Democrats, Republicans bad. Democrats, Republicans bad. But somehow magically, the Republicans were always still better than the Democrats. They would say that they two wings on the same bird, but somehow, some way, the Republicans will always end up being better. See, that's shilling. That's what you do. I guarantee you, we went through all these videos. When you talk about Trump and something that relates to black people, you will turn around and make it about the Democrats. And if I was somebody who didn't have a brain in my head and didn't understand the subject, I would come away believing that the Democrats are worse.
India forgives Laura Loomer's racism. Okay. MAGA abandons Trump on Iran. America begins war with Iran. Nick Fuentes says white nationalists are losers. Attorney Pam Bondi has lost her mind. Nick Fuentes goes full Epstein. Right-wingers go quiet after Epstein files drop. Files prove Epstein compromised everyone. Oh, look, there's Trump and...
Look, you said Epstein files compromised everyone. I guarantee you was talking about the Democrats. And again, how is this relating to black people? You're just algorithm chasing. This stuff doesn't relate to black people. Roland Martin is covering the news from a black perspective and things that relate to the black community. This is not related to the black community. Like, I never covered none of this stuff because it's effectively irrelevant to the black community and what's going on in the black community and where we stand in politics right now as black people. You're just algorithm chasing. These were the biggest stories of the time. That's why when you cover these right-wing stories, you got your numbers jump. Every time you talk about the right-wingers, your numbers jump. You were just algorithm chasing. That's it. Anybody could do that. I could put Nick Fuentes' name in a title and my numbers is going to jump. And I could do that agreeing with everything he say. Like, am I really like pushing the line against white supremacy just because I got their name in the title? You didn't do anything to debunk or destroy white supremacy. This is nonsense. But we're going to keep it going.
And Elon Musk front and center. MAGA turns on its Jewish supremacists. ICE kills again compared to BLM. How are we doing so far, folks? That's just in the last 2 months. Just the last 2 months. MAGA makes war on...
Oh, we got a bozo in the comment section. Trump said FBA built America. He didn't say FBA built America because there was no FBA. FBA is a hate cult that started in 2019. Second, now y'all care about prison reform. When the Democrats were doing prison reform, y'all was saying, oh, it don't mean anything, or all black people aren't criminals. So what does it matter? How does that benefit the black community? We all didn't go to jail. We not all criminals. Are you saying the black community is criminals? That's why you're doing prison reform? Bozo. And he's not getting any quote unquote illegals out the country. He's doing a bunch of illegal stuff. That's why when the Democrats get elected in 2028, there will be reparations for all those people he illegally got out the country. And they'll be let back in. And there'll probably even be, depending on what Democrat get elected, there might even be amnesty. So how did you win? So how did you win? You're stupid. You set yourself up for the kill. Freeman is a hate cult too. Freeman is a hate cult. Black American Freedmen. Nah. That's a hate cult too. ADOS, Freeman, FBA, or any other names. That's all hate cult business, all buffoonery. But we're going to get back to him and let him lie and be disingenuous and play on the top of stupid people.
White women. The U.S. government goes full gangster. Trump overthrows the Venezuelan government.
What that got to do with black people? Again, more clout chasing.
Ramaswamy begging white MAGA to let him in. How we doing so far here, folks? Fuentes turns on all his groupies. Fuentes and Carlson are back at war. Okay, we're talking about MAGA, ain't we? Marjorie Taylor Greene, quote, resigns with Trump throwing her out of the MAGA plane.
Again, how does this relate to black people and what Trump is doing to the black community? And where are you putting it together with what the Democrats are doing? Again, you don't cover this stuff honestly. It's either something that ain't got nothing to do with black people, or you try to relate it back to the Democrats being worse than the Republicans. Nonsense. This is what happened when you're dealing with people who effectively stopped learning in the 3rd grade and didn't make it out the 9th grade.
MAGA is dead.
And deal with it, nigga.
MAGA is dead. Trump killed it. This was 4 months ago, folks. Megyn Kelly defends Epstein's victims' ages. MAGA.
Are you stupid? They will be running on immigration, and even if they don't have to run on immigration to get in office and do immigration reform, real immigration reform. They don't have to. Like you're dumb. I don't think Michelle Obama wants to be in office. I agree with you. She don't want to be in office. She had enough. 8 years with Barack Obama dealing with the nonsense, and things have only gotten worse. Michelle Obama ain't got time for that. Shout out to everybody in the building. Make sure you hit that like button. We in here.
MAGA's people have gone officially insane. Full-blown right-wing civil war. Are the young becoming more racist? Indians find out MAGA hates them all. The GOP political game exposed. Oh, look, J.D. Vance with his Nazi chic on. J.D. Vance defends Republican Nazis. Keep that in mind about J.D. Vance. Remember that. Remember that we talked about J.D. Vance half a year ago, specifically as a Nazi. We talked about that half a year ago. Keep that specifically in mind, specifically about J.D. Vance and whether or not we talk about him. The week Trump turned.
Exactly. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Trump didn't destroy MAGA. Everybody just started fighting with each other. Before Trump even called out the podcasters, they were all fighting with each other. They were all bickering and infighting. There was already a civil war at play. Disgusting. Nonsense. All right, come on.
Turned on MAGA. Folks, we are not up to date. We are ahead of the curve consistently. I called these things. I wasn't just talking, and you've all seen it bear out. You've seen it bear out. Officer Tatum is crying about racism, the rise of Charlie Kirk's wannabes.
That's another thing. A part of the 720 analysis, you contradict yourself constantly. You're on every side of every issue. And then you claim to be ahead of the curve when one of the possibilities happen. It's like it's a multiple choice test. I pick A, B, C, D. And then when C is the right answer, I claim victory and say I got C. That's what you do. You literally multiple choice everything. You pick every option. And then when one of those options happen, you declare victory. You're not ahead of the curve. People get confused listening to you. You're stupid.
Trying to repackage white supremacy, Trump, Charlie Kirk, and repackaging white supremacy. It says right there in the title. Turning Point USA is a hate group. Prove me wrong. Which Roland didn't even investigate any of this. The true story of Charlie Kirk's life and death. By the way,
why would he do that? That's a waste of time. Imagine trying to prove. That's like somebody saying The KKK is a hate cult. Prove me wrong. Is a hate group. Prove me wrong. What was the point of that? Like, you act like you did something revolutionary. That's not revolutionary. That's not tough, hard-hitting journalism. That's bottom of the barrel. Oh, we got I'm gonna probably address you one more time. You're stupid. And again, like I said, everything like I said was going to happen is going to happen. This is why MAGA is losing. This is why Trump is crashing out on his people. There will be a Democrat. If Trump doesn't steal the election, there will be a Democrat in office come 2029. They're going to win the election in 2028 and they're going to be in office 2029. And it's most likely, hopefully not, going to be a radical lefty or somebody who's open to the radical lefties. And then you're going to really be crying when those groups, again, get reparations, when they open back up the borders, when they give those people amnesty and really take care of them. You're going to really be crying and nothing's going to happen for you. You're just going to be another bozo. That's what's so funny about it. That's what's so funny about it. You're not benefiting nothing. You think you're benefiting. By you even being still pro-Trump, I know you effectively stop learning in the 3rd grade. I know you don't work in any corporate field. I know you don't work for the federal government. I know you're not doing nothing interesting or important with your life. You're just an idiot. We're watching it already, you dummy. The Republicans have lost they have lost pretty much every special election. That's why Trump is trying to steal it. You don't try to steal an election, you know you're going to win. That's why he's talking about putting ICE at the voting booths for the midterms, dummy. You just sat up here sucking Trump dick this whole time, but now you're not pro anything. Typical grifter, not a grifter, typical idiot in typical idiot fashion. Like, you think I'm stupid. Like, you got to go for that. Imagine sitting up here sucking Trump dick this whole time and then saying I'm not pro-Trump. Yeah, you got to go behind that. Like, go suck dick somewhere else.
Way 110,000 views. You know the white supremacists and YouTube's algorithm despise this. We have to talk.
Exactly. Look, he just admitted it. I didn't even watch this, but like I said, just admitted it. You're putting their names in the titles knowing it's going to get you in the algorithm. You're not doing this. Like, how does you doing the true story of Charlie Kirk's life and death help black people? It doesn't. It just gets you in the algorithm. All these, oh, look how I've been covering Trump. You're just algorithm chasing. Anytime there's a big story in the algorithm, you cover it. It doesn't have anything to do with black people. You just cover it because you know it gets you going. That's why anytime you try to cover any issue that's not big in the algorithm or is Democratic related, you don't get no numbers. Look at this. Kamala Harris shows she's still afraid of Biden on book tour. Again, like I told y'all, when you doing anything, when it's Democrat concerned, you're not in the algorithm. But when you do anything that's like Republican related, you're in the algorithm. YouTube is going to push your video. Social media is going to push your video. A whole bunch of right-wingers are going to tune into your video. Even if they don't stay long, they're going to tune in just to see what it's about because they see Charlie Kirk's name, Trump's name. Like, stop acting like people don't know the YouTube game already.
Talk about it because Roland Martin was never going to do it. It was left up to us. It was left up to us. Why MAGA targeted Cracker Barrel. By the way, that was intellectual dishonesty of epic proportions, by the way. Dishonesty of epic proportions. Now, a lot of you forgot about this. The week that MAGA turned on itself 7 months ago, did I call it or did I call it?
You didn't call anything. It says the week MAGA turned on itself. You didn't say that they were going to turn on themselves. You're covering them already infighting. This is what I'm talking about. Like, are there adults listening to this? You literally did a video called The Week MAGA Officially Implodes and Turns on Itself. You're not talking in future tense in this video. You're talking in present tense, talking about what's currently going on. And it never stopped. It just got worse from that point on. But you called it. This is not, oh, MAGA will implode on itself. This is MAGA, or this is you claiming MAGA already imploded on itself. Where's the intelligence here?
Candace tried to befriend a bigot. Will we save the Democrats from Trump? Which we were pointing out, he's already a madman. We pointed out from the very beginning. The post.
If Trump was already a madman and you pointed that out from the very beginning, why were you supporting Trump? If he's a madman and he's so bad, why would you want him in office? Unintelligent. Unintelligent. I can't believe this. This is unintelligent. Unintelligent.
Poster girls, a white privilege. Hello, Ghislaine Maxwell. Wouldn't want you to get left out. The open racism of white crime stats, United States of Epstein.
You say I sound like I'm for open borders and reparations for foreigners. I'm for reparations for anybody who got done wrong. Just like that. So I have no problem with the United States, with the Democrats getting in office in 2029 and saying we're going to pay some form of reparations to the people who were done dirty by Trump. I mind you, I told y'all goofballs this back in 2015, that Trump was going to do stupid shit like that when he got into office if people don't keep him out of office. And then there was going to be a reparations movement behind it. And there was one. The Biden administration didn't go for it. They rejected paying the migrants $450,000 a piece. They rejected that. But I'm pretty sure the next president, who's not going to be a liberal like Biden, but most likely probably going to be a lefty or have lefty sympathies, he or she is not going to reject that. Stay mad. Y'all did that to yourself. If you don't like that, shouldn't have put Trump in office. That's what happens. Actions have consequences. Elections have consequences. Y'all put a madman, like he just said, a madman in office. He does some mad stuff. He commits crimes. Now, that has to be rectified. It has to be rectified. It has to be rectified. I know, but I don't want them to accuse me of doing an ad hominem attack. Like, yeah, I spelt it wrong, but you didn't address the issue. I addressed it now. No, the Democrats lost last time by putting all their eggs in one basket. See, you don't even understand. That's why I keep telling y'all, our power is gone. The Democratic faction that lost in 2024 was the black people faction. Remember, Kamala Harris was only there because of black people. There's other factions who don't care about black people in the Democratic Party. Some of them even hate black people. And guess what? By her losing, you empowered those people. This is what I've been telling y'all. I said you're going to create a two-front war for black people by Kamala Harris losing. See, actions have consequences. You have empowered and emboldened a lot of the anti-black factions in the Democratic Party. You put a lot of them in driver's seats. This is why we have that bozo in Maine with a Totenkopf, Nazi death head, second most famous Nazi symbol behind the swastika right now, looking like he's going to win the primary. And if he wins the primary, he's going to win the general. That kind of lefty bozo is now going to be your new type of Democrat. Like, we're going to start seeing more and more people like that. Fetterman, the bozo, Tallarico. Yes. It's going to run the whole gambit from Mandani to Placker. So who losing? Who lost that? Who ended up with the short end of the stick? Black people or the Democrats? Let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. Yep, the class reductionists have the momentum. They have it all. If you didn't vote for Kamala Harris, you did put Trump in office, dummy. That's how this works. See, this is politics. This is America. Somebody's going to be president regardless. And if you're against one, you're automatically for the other one, especially if you're black. Especially when the candidate that's representing the Democrats is the black candidate of choice that nobody else wanted. Y'all just uneducated. I'm sorry. You just don't get it. Maybe you've been listening to Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority too long. But one day you'll get it. You'll get it. Trust me. Stick around. You'll get it. Facts say the same thing. Facts that the only people who got any tangibles is Israel.
Oh, man. Can Elon beat Trump without blacks? We ain't talking about them. Okay. Hey, folks, 9 months ago, how the Republicans are falling apart. 9 months ago, Juneteenth, Iran war, and reparations. How the U.S. protects white crime. And of course, some of the greatest ones here, Roland was making a guest appearance at that time. Trump, Musk, Civil War. 10 months ago. I was right there.
Again, algorithm chasing. And oh yeah, you gotta go. See, your brain is cooked. You don't even know that Kamala Harris is black and Indian. That's why she's an Indian, not black. When did biracials not automatically be black? If you're mixed with black, you're black. When did that rule change in America? See, this is what happened. Your brain is soup. You're just saying anything. You gotta go on timeout for that. You got to. Yeah, but let's get back to him capping. And I thought you said you don't cover Roland.
When it happened, we're not talking about it. We're not discussing it. How are we?
Look what he did. You're not discussing Trump in relation to when you attack the Democrats. You don't go, this is the issue. This is what the Democrats represent. This is what Trump represents. You don't do that. You don't do that. Like I already pointed this out before, a long time ago, and I pointed out several times since then. When y'all talk about Trump, what y'all do, or any Republican, y'all say they bad, but then you flip it to the Democrats are just as bad, or the Democrats would have did the same thing. Or the Democrats would have been worse. Like it's better that Trump is in there because at least we know he's a racist. The Democrats, you do that every time. But you need to hurry up.
What is it we didn't discuss, people? What are we not focusing on? Tell me and challenge Roland to show you that he talked about the Democrats as much as we talked about Republicans over here and MAGA over here. Tell him to show his proof that he's talked about the Democrats.
Again, what is the Democrats doing that's worthy of being talked about like this? Second, you already admitted you're an algorithm chaser. Third, how does all these topics you covered relate to black people? Fourth, did you make a false equivalence between the Republicans and the Democrats when you did make these videos? Which you did. I'm going to give people the answer. He did. So now what? What did you prove? What did you prove?
Democrats made videos focusing specifically on the Democrats for hours on end, 2 and 3 and 4 hours, focusing only on the Democrats.
You're a bozo and you're weird. Roland Martin is a journalist. He's pro-Democrat. He lets it be known. Only stupid people like you believe that he's a secret shill. Like, come on. This is why we already did the definition of what a political shill is. I think you need to rewind the video and see that because you're dumb. But if you stick around long enough, I promise you'll get smarter if your brain is not already soup.
Is after the election, there's no reason you shouldn't do it. You see how many videos I've named off, how many programs we've done over and over and over and over again in the last year. We have had a steady drumbeat of it. Has Roland had similar energy for the Democrats? Because we can show you the heat we have for Republicans. We've had boots on necks the whole time. Boots on necks the whole time.
How is covering Republicans fighting each other having a boot on their neck? How? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me, but, keep going.
Will using the N-word be safe for racists? Hell no. MAGA turning on itself 10 months ago, people. 10 months ago. I've been documenting the cracks in the wall ever since. I did not declare MAGA dead until MAGA was dead. I kept telling you that they're turning on each other, they're turning on each other, they're turning on each other. I did not declare it dead until it was actually dead. Now everyone is conceding it's actually dead. I didn't jump the gun. I didn't say things for clickbait. I didn't say things to get you all to tune in. I said it because
You just acknowledged you did do that. You said you covered Charlie Kirk because you knew it was gonna put you in the algorithm. You just acknowledged that. Like these people, like, am I the only person with a regular memory or something like that? Oh my God, I would be embarrassed to have his following. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed that I can say stuff like this and people genuinely thought I was saying something intelligent. I would be embarrassed. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Who is this? Even I can't believe you're still around. I remember talking about this with you when it was ADOS. Of course, I'm still around. And again, FBA comes out of ADOS. That's it. They all got the same ideology. It's a white nationalist psyop. And I will fight against all white nationalist psyops, no matter what they call. Hey, somebody else commenting? Love to hear you take live calls and let these people. Oh, maybe I can start doing that, taking live calls and letting them call in. Because again, I'll talk to them regardless. It's like somebody was arguing yesterday, talking about why don't you call into the Black Authority? I said the Black Authority is scared of me. He has blocked me on all neutral platforms. When I tried to have the conversation with him on Twitter, he blocked me. When I created a new Twitter, he blocked that one before I even added him. He wants you to call into his show so he can talk over you. And when you hang up, he'll declare victory. And if you don't hang up, he'll accuse you of not being a real man because, you still letting him talk crazy to you. But yeah, I think I will start taking calls or dropping a link and letting people come up and letting them say what they got to say. And, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be more than fair. But yeah, I think I should do that. Oh, yeah. No doubt. I'll definitely let supporters call in before anybody else. Before I let any MAGA goofy call in, FBA goofy. Yes, he does. He does. He does cook them. And I think, we would probably enjoy stuff like that. So yeah, I might start doing that. But let's finish this up so we can be complete.
because it's actually happening. And when it actually did happen, I only called it after it occurred. Roland, we're reliable. Something you're not. Trump gives DE.
You just said you called it after it already happened, which means you didn't predict it. If you called it after it already happened, that means you didn't predict it. My God. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
For white immigrants. 10 months ago, people. Alt-right YouTube goes full N-word. White supremacy and mass shooters. Israel is causing a right-wing civil war. Alt-right mad at black self-defense. I mean, folks, we're going back to the very beginning. The white racist media erupts. This is a year ago now. A year ago. So I can stop right there. This is just in the last year. This is how much old media crash outs and thirst trapping. So that's the MAGA going at each other over there. So, folks.
No, I don't think my hostile approach. I'm carrying the correct approach. In fact, my hostile approach has stopped the spread of FBA. Remember, a lot of people in higher positions or people in positions of influence were susceptible to the FBA message because, again, because FBA does a good job of hiding the hate. They pretend to just be caring about Black Americans up front. They pretend that they just about reparations. So a lot of people was getting behind it, but it was me exposing them is why a lot of people don't bang with them at the higher level. Like I done talked to a couple of people in positions of influence who have thanked me behind the scenes for my work. and helping to expose who these people really are. That's why a lot of the quote unquote traction they're getting is from grifters and like algorithm chasers and people who are already on their side, like people who are less intelligent. Like, I don't see an intelligent person falling for listening to the FB message day in and day out and still rocking with them. It's impossible. Because once you start listening to that and you still going for it, you're not intelligent anymore. Your brain gets turned into soup. It's the same thing that happened in Nazi Germany. There was a lot of intelligent people who jumped on the Nazi bandwagon, and then a lot of intelligent people jumped off it once they saw what it was really about. And the ones who stayed, their brain got cooked and they started believing all kind of nonsense and all kind of stupid stuff, and they were stupid and they were of no use to nobody. So yes, I definitely believe my hostile approach actually helped more than it hurt. Because I know with like regular people who listens, who just might like click on and just hear me going in on them, it might hurt me with them. But when I'm talking to people who like actually following the content and I'm having back and forth with them, it helps. It helps. Trust me, it helps. Like, FBA would be way bigger than it is now if it wasn't for my vicious attacks on them. And remember, they kind of spend time addressing my attacks. When I'm hostile, like calling them a hate cult, that's hostile. That's hostile. And that's something that they got to constantly address. Calling them a hate cult and then producing the receipts, that type of hostility causes fractures among them. Why you think Professor James Small fell out with them? Why you think 19 Keys fell out with them? This is the reason why I'm the reason why every time people who rock with Tariq go try to do other events or go to other places, they gotta always give an account for FBA. And people who are asking them to give an account for FBA always use my information about, oh, you cool with Tariq and that hate cult? They call people tethers. How you feel about that? Yeah, because if I tried to play games with them like other people doing, like, well, I know what I know FBA is just a lineage, and I know you're about reparations, and I know you're for Black Americans, but I just don't like your tone when you talk about Black immigrants who disrespect us. If I took that approach, that would get us nowhere. That would get us nowhere. Yes, like I said, I do understand how some people can hear it, but my approach is actually doing more good than harm. I'm not gonna say my approach doesn't do any harm, but it does more good than harm. It does more good than harm. Trust me. Nobody who has ever addressed FBA and with kid gloves ever got anybody to stop being FBA. In fact, they help FBA by addressing them with kid gloves, because they don't sound that bad. Because if, like, again, if you go, yeah, I have some problems or I have some questions about FBA. Yeah, I know you guys are a lineage. I know, I know you're not a hate cult. I know you're a lineage. I know you only care about Black people and reparations, and you be checking the tethers. And I know tether is not a slur. I know it just means the Black immigrants who come over here and disrespect us. But don't you think y'all go a little bit too far and overboard checking the tethers? That approach ain't gonna get us nowhere. That ain't gonna help nobody. It does harm because some people, again, like he said, some people might hear me and, like, say, for example, the thing just went up from 60 to 61. And let's say I was talking like regular, and this is a person who just clicked on the video, never heard me before, and heard me going foundational Black American this, foundational Black American that, hate cult, you trash, and all that other stuff. This might be a person who might have just found out about FBA and think it's really just a lineage, quote unquote lineage. And they'll hear that and they'll just click off. So that does kind of hurt, but everything in life is a trade-off. For the people I lose like that, I gain others by keeping it real and going on. Let's see. Let me see what this say. Mm-hmm. I agree. But yeah. Also, yeah, correct. Exactly. The reason they not going mainstream is because again, my work. Remember, when ADOs first hit, they was mainstream, but it was through my work of exposing them as a white nationalist psyop that people started asking them questions that they normally wouldn't have asked them, and that's when it fell off. Same thing, and FBA never got on because of my work. I'm taking credit for that. Yep. Yep. But yeah, let's continue on for the sake of complete because the hour is getting late.
This is our track record. I did not bring receipts. I brought invoices. Take it to Krispy Kreme, Roland.
And deal with it.
So that's our track record of what we talk about. Now, why don't you go give everybody the rundown of the Democrats you've talked about, Roland, and show them how much airtime you've given to calling out the Democrats? Go ahead and show them because, you know, my programs are 2 and 3 and 4 hours. Roland, now it's your turn. Show everyone how much airtime you've given to calling out the Democrats for what they've done. Now that we've shown you ours, we've been on Trump's ass the whole time. Why don't you show everybody how honest you've been about the Democrats? That should be easy to do. The problem is it'll only take you about 15 minutes because you haven't talked about them. And you certainly have not said, you know what, they don't need to have support because of this. So, yeah, this is a little lie right here that doesn't make it very far.
Who got lots of smoke for Democrats, but they don't say nothing about this here. They don't say nothing about the poly markets and all of these little betting apps and how folks are making millions and millions and accounts opening right before Trump makes an announcement. Y'all, last week, Trump pardoned 77 people who engaged in Medicare and Medicaid fraud.
Okay, you want to talk about that?
Exactly. You show videos going back a year and you didn't talk about none of that stuff. Again, you didn't show any videos addressing what Roland Martin said before, and you're damn sure just proved to us you didn't address anything he's saying he just said just right now. Also, I touched on that. I don't know if I could do a mini documentary. I'll see, but I touched on that before when I was talking about issues. Yeah, I definitely touched on that. I definitely touched on that. Probably got to touch on it again. And yeah. Shout out to everybody still in the building, rocking with me. Got 50 people in the building. Hopefully this bozo finish up, and tomorrow we'll come back and be back at our regular scheduled program. Make sure you hit the like button.
Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi. Let's talk about all the Democrats and their insider stock trading scheme. How about that? You want to talk about trading on insider information? Once again, Roland, this is what makes you a Democrat ass-kissing flunky right here. You say crazy stuff like this. Where have you been about Nancy Pelosi? They got basically an organized RICO crime ring going on at Nancy Pelosi's house. Her and the other Democrats, they've literally beat the market by 7 times. They have done 7 times better than the S&P 500. They've beaten the stock market by 7 times. That is statistically impossible unless you know something that the rest of the market doesn't know. And you were able to act on it before the rest of the market could. So you want to talk about that? I'm like, okay, then why is it you didn't have a word? You've got a problem with that. Okay, I agree with you. That's definitely a problem. It's been a problem. You know, like us being attacked, not you, Roland, real black folk being attacked. If you were so worried about this, why didn't you?
Again, more with the xenophobia, claiming that Roland is Haitian, so he's not under attack. When we know the Republicans were attacking the Haitians viciously, and we saw from your own log that you didn't cover it. In fact, you was co-signing it. Yeah, y'all was all co-signing it. Y'all was co-signing Trump's bigotry. And again, you didn't. All you did was a whataboutism. You didn't actually show that you were addressing these things. You just talk about, oh, what about the Democrats? What about the Democrats? You just doing whataboutism. See, you can't even address an issue that's about Republicans without going, what about the Democrats? What aboutism? Plain and simple, what aboutism? You're not comparing and contrasting what they're doing. You're just going, what about them? And making it seem like, well, they're just as bad or if worse.
Let's talk about Nancy Pelosi before, because we've talked about her and Paul Pelosi. We've been talking about them. If insider trading bothers you that much, why is it you haven't said anything before now? So Republican insider trading bothers you.
The newspapers did do that, but they just didn't have it. But if you have to be deep in the article. But the reason you're seeing it now is because, like I said, most media, whether it be social or information media, has a right-wing bias. So because Trump is talking about immigrant, that's why people are doing it. Because that gets the clicks and the views. So it's either a right-wing bias or they just grifting for the algorithm. Because again, anytime you talk about immigration or anything like that, no matter how you talk about it, you're going to get clicks. You're going to get in the algorithm. Remember, like the old saying used to go, if it bleeds, it leads. Talking bad about immigrants right now is going to get you going to get you the bag. They trying to get the eyeballs. Everybody's trying to get clicks and views.
Democrats with Joe Biden and his son getting sweetheart deals with the Ukrainian government. What? Yeah. Hunter Biden and them getting a sweetheart deal with the Ukrainian government, being paid for his artwork and paid for consultation and being put on the board of companies and whatnot. Okay, that was perfectly fine, and you didn't see an issue with that. Trump comes in, and corruption. So it wasn't corruption when Joe Biden was doing it? That wasn't corruption, or it was corruption when Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi were doing it, but it didn't bother you. Well, when they do it, they're good evil. Trump does it, bad evil. So Trump does it as bad evil. Democrats do it as good evil. What the hell is the difference? They give me some of their money from it when they do it. When Nancy Pelosi hits up the stock market, she breaks me off a little bit. She's good evil. Okay. Where were you, Roland, to say anything?
Last week, Trump pardoned 77 people who engaged in Medicare.
Exactly. Nothing about Jared Kushner. Exactly.
And Medicaid fraud. Straight ass fraud. Folk buying pardons. One dude got arrested because he tried to extort somebody who owed him money for one of the pardons.
Kyle Rittenhouse was not prosecuted by the feds.
What? Damn! What? Damn!
Kyle Rittenhouse was not prosecuted by the feds. Joe Biden, Mr. Three Strikes, Joe Biden himself, Joe Biden, Mr. Three Strikes, Joe Biden, they did not prosecute Kyle Rittenhouse or his buddy. That was a straw man gun purchase. That was a clear violation of federal gun law. But then again, Joe Biden does not believe in prosecuting federal gun laws against white people, not against Kyle Rittenhouse, not against the adult who gave it to him, and not against his son, Hunter Biden, either. Now, isn't this interesting? Now, why didn't Roland the bowling ball, buck-eyed bowling ball?
What did Kyle Rittenhouse have to do with black people? And also, why are you talking about Kyle Rittenhouse? We're talking about fraud and how you guys are ignoring that and not talking about it. Why are you talking about Kyle Rittenhouse?
Why didn't he say anything I just told you all? Remember, Kyle Rittenhouse made a straw man gun purchase. The federal government, the ATF, nobody stepped in to prosecute him. But then again, they don't step in to prosecute these white folk. Roland Martin would have you all believe that they're stepping in to do all kinds of things. They didn't step in to do a damn thing. They let it go. And Roland cheered it on. Now, why is it that they didn't do that? Why is it that they did not prosecute that? You want to talk about folks getting pardons and getting sweetheart deals? Well, you can be Kyle Rittenhouse and break federal gun laws, and oh well. Meanwhile, your favorite rapper is getting hit with a RICO charge or getting parole violated. Now, your favorite rapper is going to end up in jail if he does the exact same thing. But Roland wants you all to understand is, well, Democrats would.
Now you care about rappers. You constantly attack rappers and sports players, but now you care about them. And also, again, Kyle Rittenhouse was being prosecuted at the state level. And that was pretty much a state level case. But yeah, you probably could make the argument that his gun was a straw purchase, but the feds don't pick up all the cases that they possibly could. They never do. Like 90% of regular case, not I'm gonna say 90, but a large percentage of regular cases, the feds could pick up if they wanted to, but they don't. But yeah, you're just like rambling on, saying a bunch of nothing. But hurry up, finish this up.
Never do nothing like that. I just gave the rundown. Those are minor things. That's just minor. Them just small potatoes, little things. Okay. All right. No, Joe Biden doesn't have a problem with any white man committing a crime. And Barack Obama, neither. So Roland's only upset if the folk who didn't pay him is, well, y'all didn't pay me enough to be quiet, Trump. That's the problem. Trump ain't paid me enough to be quiet about him. So that's why I got to get on him. Okay.
So it amazes me when I listen to these people who sitting here, yeah, man, he buck dancing for the Democrats, when these people are doing what we said they were going to do, rape and pillage this country. See, again, and that's somebody in the comments say, well, Roland, I don't like you and Greg going after people who are defending lineage. Let me explain something to y'all. The reason I can't stand these punk ass people, oh yeah, he a tether, he got Haitian descent. Well, that was my maternal, paternal grandfather's ancestors. So using y'all math.
Now, old Greg is about.
Exactly. Again, like I said, so don't ever believe the nonsense of, oh, there's a such thing as half FBA. There's no such thing as half FBA. That was just something that Tariq created on the fly to sell a flag. He made that up. And look what I said. People are reflexively defending FBA because they think that they're defending black people. What we just talked about. What I said, yeah, there are gonna be people who hear you talk about FBA, hardcore, rough and rugged, and they're gonna get defensive. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you attacking our people? You attacking this?" But we can't worry about people like that. Not right now, at least. Maybe some people can worry about people like that on a personal level, but me, just like who's doing content and people like Roland, we can't worry about that. We just got to keep it real and just give you the answer. And if you accept it, you accept it. If you take it, you take it. If you reject it, you reject it. If you don't want it, you don't want it. That's all we could do.
About to get agitated and start running his mouth again. Greg, you would be far better served by just being quiet. I know somewhere little people like Reese, Meese, Nisi, whatever the hell the name is over there, they make you feel like you're brilliant. I understand, because you got to understand. It's just when hood rat IQ comes in the room, it goes down here. But yeah,
more attacks against black women, more misogyny, anti-black women, hate. Going back to his roots, remember, he got on while working with Tommy, attacking black women.
Greg, I know you want to feel like you're smart, dude. You should just really be quiet. Spoiler alert, he won't be.
Paternal grandfather's ancestors. So using y'all math, I got 4 grandparents, 2 on my daddy's side, 2 on my mama's side. So
don't defend yourself, bro.
No. But John early, we gonna.
Okay, Greg talking about don't defend yourself, Roland. Could you all imagine him being a boxing trainer? Don't defend yourself, man. You know you're the champ, and the fight's already won.
Exactly. I agree with Greg. Don't defend yourself. Like this whole nonsense that you got to give an account from your family. Like when did black people start doing that? When did a black person have to start producing like their ancestry or their lineage or DNA tests? When did we start doing that? Not answering to no nonsense like that. Like we talking about real things and you trying to bring up some weird non sequitur about lineage when you don't even know who your daddy is. You guys is bozos. Can't even name both of your male grandfathers, but you want to argue people down about a lot of lineage.
Yeah, okay. This is what happens when you think you've already won. Roland needs to defend himself. The shots have already gotten through. So, yes, Greg, he needs to defend himself. This is terrible advice. You guys want to pretend that you're going to give political advice. You're giving terrible social advice right now. This is awful.
No. But John early, we're going to call it simple math. We're just going to call it simple math. So if I got 4 grandparents and one of them had ancestors that came from Haiti, that means I got 3 more. That's 75%. So you dumbasses gonna act like that 75% don't exist? That's how stupid the whole conversation is.
Okay, we're not the ones who say the 75% doesn't exist. You're the one who says the 75% doesn't exist.
When did Roland ever say his when did you ever hear Roland Martin calling himself Haitian and just referring to him as just Haitian? That would be erasure, but he has never done that. This was something that Tariq Nasheed found out and put that out there to attack Roland on Twitter like how many years ago. And Roland responded and pointed out that how Tariq is a grifter. Matter of fact, I think I got that video because I got back access to my old channel. Go subscribe to that channel. And I think I got the video. Matter of fact, I might go look for it right now. I'm gonna see if we can go look for that right now. We're gonna see if we can look for that right now. Right now. Not later, now. I think this is it right here. I think this is it right here. Oh, yeah, and I was saying grandmother, it was grandfather. I got that wrong. Let's see. Right here. This is an old video. I don't know if the quality is good, but we're going to watch a little bit of it. We're going to watch a little bit of it right now. We're going to watch. Let me fix this. Let me do this. We're going to watch a little bit of it right now. Go subscribe to that other channel. Peace. My name is Haven Bullis, and today I got to do this video because people are still trying to claim that this DOS movement is not anti-foreign black, which it is. And the reason some people are claiming that is because they're trying to cover up their actions, or others who are just ignorant. Because, you know, we got a lot of useful idiots out there who are joining stuff and claiming stuff that they don't even know what they're claiming just because they heard the word reparations. And I'm tired of black people jumping on any bandwagon, calling themselves any damn thing. Not black people, some black people. Let me say that again. These YouTube black people who go from calling themselves Hebrews to Aboriginals to Moors, they everything is all you got to do is give them a new name to call themselves and tell them that there's a free lunch at the end of the day, and they're gonna call themselves that. Tell them, put this fez on your head and you can start claiming houses that's not yours. And you can get the house and just run off with it, and then people want to do it. Now you're a Moor. Now you're a Moorish American. Somebody tells you that if you call yourself DOS, it's going to make it easier for us to get reparation. Now you DOS. Lose. Again, that was the original name. It was DOS, then it went to ADOS. Then Tariq made his splinter group. No, Tariq tried to make up Native Black American, but he realized he couldn't trademark that because that's a legitimate term. So he went back to rep at ADOS. Then he created FBA. Then he fell out with Yvette. And then that's when some other people like Be the Power created Freedmen. And now we're here now. And they fell out with Yvette Carnell too after she threw them out. But as you can see on your screen, this is Roland Martin addressing Tariq Nasheed. Let me see if I can fast forward this a little bit. Yeah, and this is Tariq's response. Like when Roland put that out there, this is what Tariq said. Let me see. So Roland Martin, aka Dr. Martin Burger King, with the childish jokes, is apparently big mad at me because I pointed out his Caribbean immigrant lineage and how this is one of the reasons he's constantly talking down on Black American DOS, especially when it comes to us getting reparations. See, simple demagoguery. Simple, like that's another reason why people keep saying, oh, there's a such thing as half FBA. There's not. As you can see, this is old, real old. This is yeah, this is from 2000. This is about 7 years old right here. This video, 7 years old. This is what they've been doing. What they've been doing. Like Roland already gave y'all the math. He already gave y'all the math. That's why I said, Roland, you shouldn't defend yourself. You already defended yourself once with this. You already gave them the breakdown of your history, and they completely ignored it and just kept calling you a Caribbean immigrant who hates Black Americans and trying to stop us from getting reparations. This is why I can't do kid gloves with these people. Can't do it. Can't do it. Not at all. And matter of fact, since we on this subject, we're going to go to the part where I told y'all about how when Tariq changed it. When Tariq created the whole concept of a half FBA. Let's see. Let me see if I could go to that right now. When Tariq created the concept of a half FBA. When Tariq created the concept of a half FBA. To sell a flag.
Not definitely, man. Now, question.
Doc,
not definitely, man.
By 19.
Peace, you know.
Get y'all black.
What? Well,
get y'all.
Come on, man.
Not definitely.
What happened? We just
and everybody's still questioning Brandon Johnson's.
What happened? We just click. I hate when YouTube got to get this short situation together, man.
Right, and my family's from Honduras, so I know how you feel about when I say us immigrants. I'm gonna say them immigrants because I consider myself Black.
Yes.
But I'm from Dorchester. I got mad brothers, and we get busy.
Yes.
And that's how I grew up. So I've always considered myself that way. I love my Honduran lineage. Both parents are from Honduras.
Okay.
But I'm from here.
Right.
But Shy, my son, who's 19 now, his father is all the way a foundational Black American.
Okay.
So I wanted to give him the flag of the foundational Black American because I thought that Shy would be considered a foundational Black American because I'm confused now. So, because if his dad is all the way Black, Southerners and stuff, and all the way Black, and then I'm from here, but my parents are from Honduras, does that make my 19-year-old son a foundational Black American or not? Because it's not.
He is.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, if you look at the
Oh
website.
my God, I'm so happy.
See, Tariq remix what it means to be foundational Black American to sell a flag. Because you heard the lady was saying, well, if he's not foundational, I'm not going to buy the flag. He literally remixed what it means to be FBA to sell a flag. That's how low this degenerate is. And that's how stupid the people are who follow him. Because as you clearly heard the lady say, she's confused about who is and who is not FBA. Why? Because Tariq constantly changes who is and who is not FBA. That's why it's a cult. It's whoever Tariq decides is FBA. That's why he can attack Westmore and claim he's not FBA, even though Governor Westmore's family goes all the way back to the American Revolution. He has ancestors who fought in the American Revolution. He's magically not FBA. He can say Roland Martin is not FBA, even though 3 out of his four great-grandparents are Native Black Americans. This is how you can say Malcolm X is not FBA. Yeah, look, for the purpose of being complete, we're going to look at that real quick. And then we're going to get back to this. Because, yeah, we're not trying to be here for the whole night covering this bozo. Let me see. Where's that video? That's not it. Let's see. There it is.
Meaning foundational Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman, you got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King, meaning foundational Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman, you got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King, meaning foundational Black Americans.
All right. We let it play enough. Everybody heard that, right? Shout out to the Boogeyman. Yo, Boogeyman, you want to be a mod? I was trying to ask you last time, do you want to be modded up? Shout out to you for the $4.99 for setting it off. Let me see. Let me look at some of these questions. Let me see. When they say America, they only talking about the 13th. They talking about the United States of America. Yeah, half was out, like you just saw me. Like I said, you just saw the video when I played with about him saying Malcolm X was not FBA. Just like he said Roland Martin is not FBA. And mind you, that he's saying he's not FBA because of one great grandparent. One great grandparent. That's the reason why they were saying Umar is Cuban too. I told y'all. Like, these fools will go way back into your ancestry to say that you're not one of them. They will go way back. And don't let there be any quote unquote Black immigrant blood. I don't even like using that disgusting term, but Black immigrant blood. They're going to say you're not FBA, but you can be mixed with white all day. You can have 3 white great grandparents and one quote unquote, no, I'm not even going to say quote unquote, Native Black grandparent, and you can be FBA. You can be FBA. I got you. I'm just gonna tell you, like when I mod you, don't ban anybody. You could put them on timeout if they are trolling or spamming or like being disrespectful. But if they just asking the question, let me answer it. Okay. Thank you. Let me try to do that right now. You see. Okay. Yeah, I did that. But yeah, complete bozo. Complete bozo. Yes, biracials are FBA. Biracials. That's what I said. You could be mixed with white, or you just can't be mixed with Black immigrant. I'm going to say it get kind of tricky if you mix with Asian or Hispanic or something like that. But if you mix, as long as it ain't Black immigrant or Black ancestry from, like, you don't even got to be an immigrant, just Black ancestry from another part of the world, you straight. I'm a ban them because, again, sometimes the disrespect is directed directly at me, and I want to address them. I don't want people to ban them before I get a chance to, address them. Just like we had the issue the other day, I had to ban the person, but I want to address it. So I don't want nobody, because again, I don't want nobody coming in saying that I was ducking smoke. You being disrespectful to me, I'm gonna address you, and then I'm gonna boot you after that. It's a cult. It works like that because it's a cult. It's not supposed to make sense. That's how cults work. Cults don't have to make sense. It's whatever Tariq say it is. That's it. Tariq can change the rules tomorrow. It don't matter. They're gonna go for it. But let's get back to this. Let's hurry up. We could finish this because it's after 12. So hurry up. He gotta finish this. Let me see. Okay, we back.
Deal with it, nigga.
Because the point is not whether or not you have some ancestry that goes to the soil. The question is, where is your allegiance to? Where is your identity?
See, look, they making up new rules. See, it's FBA is supposed to be a lineage, but now having the lineage is not good enough. Now you need to be born in America. Like Tariq said about Drake, blood and land. Roland got the blood and the land, but it's not good enough because what is your allegiance to? What do you identify as? Even though we never heard Roland identify as a Haitian. I never heard Roland say as a Haitian American or as a Haitian. I never heard him say that. But you get to decide and make it up as you go. So again, we got a new layer to it. Blood, first it was blood because of the lineage. Then it went to blood and land, Nazi reference. Now it's blood, land, and allegiance to an ideology, Nazism. This is Nazism, but we can keep going.
See, this is the game that we don't play with these folks. This is the game that we stop playing here. This idea that, well, you can look like us. And meanwhile, we go to your houses and there's a bunch of stuff that we don't recognize and whatnot. And then we start saying that, yeah, this kind of explains some of that funny style stuff you were saying. This kind of explains that. You have these two-faced type of individuals here that, yeah, they might share some part of ancestry with you, but their identity is to whatever that sliver is. Now, we have had this go on for a while with our high yellow mixed brothers and sisters. What? More with the females than the males, but I'm not going to let the fellas off the hook.
Oh. He talking bad about the mixed people. Oh, Tariq, don't let Tariq hear this. Don't let nobody tell Tariq that the Black Authority, Jason Black, TBA, said something to say about mixed people. You slick this in Tariq and Peanut right now?
Hook. So you see, if they got some white in the family and whatnot, next thing you know, here comes the bug dance. And if they're an Afro-Latina, they talk one way when they're around us. And then when they get around everybody else, hey, abuela, ¿cómo estás? ¿Usted hoy? Start talking about go.
So what's wrong with them speaking their language? If they're Afro-Latina and they speak Spanish and they get around their Spanish-speaking family, what's wrong with that? How is that a switch up?
Boy powder and whatnot. And yeah, that's the kind of thing that we started noticing. So yeah, you might share a relative with us, but you don't share our identity. And we're not going to play this game where you think you're going to be a double agent. We have these ethnic and racial double agents.
I know your support is for him because you're a bozo, but stay around long enough and I will unbozo you by teaching you the ways. As far as I know, you haven't gone too far.
Who are black when convenient, FBA when convenient. And this is the game that they play from these backstabbing cultures. So you see, we watch to see what mannerisms and what behaviors you picked up, Roland. You didn't pick up the behaviors from the soil. You picked up the behaviors from the backstabbing culture. So we can see what the dominant.
Now Haiti is a backstabbing culture. I don't get it, man. All this weird xenophobia, especially for Haitians. Like, how are Haitians backstabbing? I don't get it. Haiti got out of slavery by not being backstabbing. Black people, we were kept in slavery longer than we should have been in America because of backstabbing. How many, from Nat Turner to the German Coast Uprising to Denmark VC, how many mass runaway events or mass rise up events got foiled by the people who were doing the revolt being stabbed in the back by other black people on the plantation, trying to get manumissions for themselves? How many times that happened?
Genealogy is in your family based on how you act, based on how you behave, based on how you buck dance and bow down and kiss ass on Democrats.
Of course. Like I said, they all grifting. Again, they grifting. They all got down with the ADOS hate group. Now they in the foundational Black American hate cult. A lot of it is grift, but like I always say, there's a grifter to true believer pipeline. I believe that a lot of these people who started out just grifting are now true believers in what they say.
Grats. And any white person who comes in the room, Richard Spencer got you to bow down. You're going to try to give black lessons to us? The soil knew better than to back down to Richard Spencer. At that pivotal moment in time, you need somebody to stand. Roland Martin couldn't stand. Hell, the nigga can barely sit. What? But no, dude, we can see which part of your lineage actually is the dominant gene. From your behavior, you can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. We can see which one is your dominant gene. By the way, y'all, cursing Roland Martin, isn't he just a wonderful Christian? Lie. Isn't he just a wonderful example of Christianity? A week after Easter, isn't he just a wonderful Christian example? He told Richard Spencer what a great Christian he was. Isn't he a wonderful Christian example? Wouldn't you want to model your kids after him at the church? But in any case, yeah, now I want you all to keep this in mind, because what he just tried to do, and I'm not, nobody's catching strays here tonight. We got to have real straight up talk, people. If you're thin skinned, this ain't the place to be. This is not the place to be, because we are not going to back up off of it. We're not going to back up off of it at all. So if we step on some folks' toes, if you're thin skinned about this, we can't change it for you. So if you're going to fall off early or fall off later, you're going to fall off. We got to keep it real. We got to.
I am black, and you guys are the hateful ones, as you just heard what he just said. You ain't hear what he just said about Roland Martin? Calling Haitians backstabbers, calling black immigrants backstabbers, saying they come from a backstabbing culture. You ain't hear that hate? And I am black. Y'all don't own the term black. Sorry. Not sorry. And FBA needs to leave us alone. Y'all the ones who are attacking us. You're the ones who are part of the, hate cult. Exactly. And the funny part is that that applies to him. We know you are a grifting bozo. We know you are part of that hate cult, because look what you just said. We know a tree by the fruit it bears. You're bearing hate right now. Look at all this hate that you just spewed against Roland Martin. Look at all this xenophobia that you just spread. That's how we know you a xenophobe. How we know an apple tree is an apple tree? We see the apples. How we know you a hater? Because we see the hate.
We have to. And so in this situation right here, remember how I have always defined it. Your bloodline, your phenotype, and your identity. That is what defines and determines.
Oh, you just came up with a whole brand new criteria. So if we going by phenotype, is Peanut really FBA? Is Yvette Carnell FBA? Is Colin Kaepernick FBA? If we add in phenotype to it, I think Tariq might want to hear about this, that you throwing shots at his wife and his kids.
Blackness in the ethnic context. I want to take a look at your bloodline. I want to take a look at your phenotype. And I want to take a look at your identity. Now, those first two, we can put down on sheets of paper. That third one, I can also measure that one too by monitoring how you behave, what you respond to, and how you respond.
Exactly. It's supposed to be a lineage. You can't get put out of a lineage because of how you behave or what you believe. You don't stop being an Arab because you're not a Muslim. You don't stop being a German because you're a communist. You don't stop being Japanese because you listen to hip hop. You don't stop being Mexican because you only want to date black people. That's not how this works. So that just proves you're a group. Like, you just proving you're a group. The fact that you talking about you taking belief into account about who is and who is not FBA shows that this is not a lineage, this is not an ethnicity, it's a group. Because people inside of an ethnicity are free to believe whatever they want, and they'll still be inside the ethnicity. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got 70 people in the building. Make sure you hit the like button and support the channel any way you can.
And eventually the real thing gonna come out. See, this game that they've been playing, whether it's the racially mixed ones, I mean, folks, I have some real talk with you tonight, whether it's the racially mixed or the ethnically mixed, whether they are racially mixed or ethnically mixed, whether it is the so-called Blasian, the so-called Afro-Latino, whatever the case may be, that's what we start watching. We are hip to the game. You all come.
Oh, now you crossing the line now. You using FBA to attack mixed people, and we just already showed and documented that if you mix, you still full FBA nonstop. There has never been no negotiation around somebody mixed, half white, half black. You're going a little too far now. I know Tariq is not gonna like this. He's not gonna like this at all.
Around us, whoever is the dominant audience, you're going to be chameleons, and that's going to be the identity you take on. What you're upset about is we ain't playing that game no more.
Of course they don't listen to Malcolm X. Was you African Leffert? Were you here when we just played the clip where Tariq said Malcolm X is not FBA? Matter of fact, let's see. Since you in the building and we feeling generous, let's see. Should we do that again? Yeah, we're gonna do that one more time. Because I think people need to really hear this, because we got more people in the building anyway.
Black Americans who are the foundation of the, meaning foundational Black Americans. Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman, you got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King, meaning foundational Black Americans. Black Americans who are the foundation of this country. That's the group. And that group includes Dr. Martin Luther King and many other foundational Black Americans who are prominent. You dig? Because people who got a problem with American descendants of slaves, and you got a problem with Harriet Tubman, you got a problem with Malcolm X, not Malcolm, with Martin Luther King.
All right. As you can see, Leopard, you can see what type of time he's on. So of course they don't follow his teachings. They don't even consider him a part of their people. Shout out to the Boogeyman for the double up. Widows can't be a single show without saying that. Exactly. They constantly talk about Black immigrants. They constantly talk about the diaspora. They constantly talk about how they delineating. But if somebody talks about it, then they following behind them. They bothering them. They whatever the case may be. Nonsense. Shout out to you again for the $4.99.
We're watching you everywhere.
And being the newest mod.
And as soon as you slip up and you off code, we're going to catch you on it. And you're going to get a different response from us today than you got in years past. No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to hijack our identity. If you call yourself Afro-Latino, Afro-Latina, Blasian, once you start kicking in the hyphens, okay, you're gone.
But if they don't do that, you're going to accuse them of being cosplayers. How many times have y'all done that to people where people say as a Black American and you be like, oh, ain't your grandmother Jamaican? You're cosplaying. Why are you not saying you're a Jamaican American? Why are you saying you're a Black American? How many times have y'all did that? How many times? I just showed Tariq doing it to Roland Martin. You just did it to Roland Martin. Roland Martin has never even said he was Haitian. Tariq just somehow found it out. And then gonna bring it up and say, well, you're pretending to be us. You're really a Haitian American, or you're really a Haitian. Come on, man. Come on.
You don't get to be Black Latino. If you're gonna be Black, that's what it's gonna be. You identify as Black, If you tell us that's how you identify, don't let me catch you putting no hyphens in there. When you kick in that hyphen, we're kicking your ass out. You're not going to play that game. You're not going to be in with us and then in with somebody else whenever it's convenient and what's most advantageous for you. Because us being who we are in this society, those of us who can't camouflage who we are, we don't get to choose what's advantageous. We got to take the heat. And you're not going to pretend and use that as a camouflage to get benefits among us and get the best of both worlds. No. You either going to pull weight with everybody else here. You are either solidly with us or you're solidly outside of us. That's all there is.
Oh, he really going in on the biracials tonight. Tariq is not going to like this. Make sure you like the stream.
That's all there is. And when you start affecting tether mannerisms and whatnot, which Roland has consistently done, yeah, that's what it matters. Your 75% has obviously been drowned out by the 25%, Rolly. That's the problem.
Yes, we know that. Like, again, he addressing that right now. I addressed it. I showed when Tariq first brought it up and was attacking him. Yeah, he has a Haitian great-grandparent, not even a grandparent, a great-grandparent. Matter of fact, is it a great-grandparent or is it just a... Wait, no, it's a grandparent. Grandparent. Tariq was the one who got me confused. And it's a grandfather. Yeah. Nonsense.
And that's what we keep reminding you of. The 75% is irrelevant because obviously you defer to the 25%. So we're not the ones who said it doesn't matter. You're the one who said it doesn't matter. We're just not going to play the game with you anymore, and we're just going to hold you to that. Now that we see what you are, this where you going to be. And what you're unhappy about is that 25% doesn't give you any influence among us.
But what I'm looking at right now, and we cover this stuff every day, Ed Blum right now dropped a lawsuit against the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation saying the scholarships for the CBCF are race-based. They want to get rid of the money for the black folks. See, these little rich white kids, they can afford to come to D.C. and intern in somebody's office for free. These black kids can't do that.
All right, let me go ahead and deal with that right there. Ed Blum, we've been talking about him forever here, y'all. Roland Martin was not talking about Ed Blum. We have been roasting Ed.
That's a lie, and you just went through your whole catalog for the last year. Where's Ed Blum being named in the title? Yeah, you didn't do that because that wouldn't have got you in the algorithm with clicks and views. Where's your streams just about what Ed Blum is doing? You haven't done one in the last year. So how are you addressing anything he's saying?
Ed Blum now for years. We've been on top of this since the beginning. We've been talking about it consistently the whole time. We've been tracking it the whole time because Ed Blum joined Common Cause with the Asians that President Joe Biden told all of us that we need to be protecting. What? Remember? So Joe Biden tells us we need to protect the Asians, and then Ed Blum says, you know what, you're right, we need to protect them. Well, I'll be damned. We caught you again, Roland, but damn.
It wasn't the Asians. It was some Asians who were being used by white supremacy. And Asians didn't even like that. They were against it. But, you know, you're lying, and you say you caught him again by talking about Joe Biden. Like, how did you catch him again? Like, this is making no sense. I'm about to put you in double speed because, yeah, I think I fulfilled my obligations on this issue. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. So we're going to let him go a little bit more, and then we probably going to wrap this up because the hour is definitely getting late. We've been here for 2 hours. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with me the whole time.
And ass kissing and being the flunky for them. We caught you again. All they're doing now is just carrying out the protocol that Biden said. They're protecting Asians, or at least using Asians as their shield to protect white supremacy, but they're protecting Asians. So this is no different than what was going on under the Biden administration or the Obama administration for that matter. But let me go a little bit further, y'all. Let me go a little bit further. I want to go a little bit further right here. See, this is the part right here that the big fat honey bun head looking nigga don't want to hear. Understand something. Donald Trump got in the White House. And the first order of business was Donald Trump started hitting up these law firms, the law firms that had been giving him hell all this time. Y'all remember he started.
Yeah. That is true. That's why Tariq said that New Orleans is a Caribbean satellite, and the people of New Orleans, especially the people in the South, are not actually FBA. They're Haitians. That's why a lot of times when Tariq back in the days when he would accuse somebody of being a black immigrant and they couldn't, and then it would be found that the person wasn't a black immigrant, they would just say that the person is really from Louisiana. And if they're from Louisiana, that means that, they're Haitian. Like, matter of fact, for the sake of being complete, we're going to go to that right now. All right, y'all can see this. Y'all can see the screen. Now, let's take this down and let's look at this for the sake of being complete.
You dig? Somebody said New Orleans had twerking, but remember, New Orleans, that was a satellite for the Caribbean too. That's a major satellite for the Caribbean because of the French. You dig? So we're calling.
One more time for the road. That's a fact. That's a fact. He's like the only person worse than him is Marlon Gaines with the soundboard.
Somebody said New Orleans had twerking, but remember, New Orleans, that was a satellite for the Caribbean too. That's a major satellite for the Caribbean because of the French. You dig? So we're calling.
All right. I think that answers your question. Let's get back to this because I don't want to have to do a part 3.
Started hitting up them law firms, remember? He started hitting them up and saying, you know what, y'all, we're gonna knuckle y'all under. First thing we're gonna do is I think Paul Weiss was one of the firms. First thing he started doing, he didn't go after cities, he went after law firms, private law firms. Now, Ed Blum has been a problem now for the last decade. Why didn't Joe Biden do those law firms that are backing Ed Blum the way that Trump just did Paul Weiss and them other firms? Why didn't they do that?
Because Trump is engaging in un-American behavior that's borderline illegal. That's why. Like, he's literally using the power of the presidency to bully people into working for him for free. Threatening to use the power of the presidency to crush their business. You're threatening to use the Justice Department against them if they don't agree to work for him for free. That's the reason. If Joe Biden would have did something like that, people would have been calling for his impeachment, and rightfully so.
Why isn't the Congressional Black Caucus doing that? Because we just watched Trump do it last year. See, folks, I'm going to take away all your excuses. As I said before, you can't defend Joe Biden because you can't lie anymore. When he got in office, he had the House, he had the Senate, he had the presidency. So it would be all on him.
Again, y'all don't understand politics. Again, y'all don't understand how the two parties differentiate from each other. And again, a lot of the stuff that y'all saying, oh, look, Trump doing it, it's illegal or borderline illegal, but 110% un-American. That's why he's the worst president we ever had.
Anything that doesn't get done, the blame is firmly at his feet. You can't blame anybody else. And you can't claim they didn't have the power to do it because Trump just showed you they sure as hell do. Why is it that Joe Biden didn't do that? Trump just did it. Why is it the Congressional Black Caucus isn't doing it? In the chat room, you're correct. Hakeem Jeffries and Jasmine Crockett. There's a whole bunch of lawyers in the Congressional Black Caucus. And Jasmine Crockett has a whole lot more free time right now. Damn! None of them are defending us.
Again, you don't know politics. Jasmine Crockett is still in office. She lost the primary for the Senate race, but she's still a congresswoman. See, again, low information.
Notice Roland is curiously absent about that. He's not bringing that up. Yeah, he's talking about Ed Blum, but he's not talking about, by the way, where were the Democrats to shut all this down?
Again, more whataboutism. More whataboutism. And the Democrats don't even have power to shut it down. Remember, you gave Trump the power by making him the president. And yes, you're right about Phil Scott. That's what I was saying before about the whole, when I did a video covering Phil, when he was talking about Kamala, about the quote unquote tangibles. Y'all don't really care about quote unquote tangibles because y'all can't define it. And anytime Democrats do something for black people, it's either not good enough or y'all complain and say, well, black people weren't the only ones who benefited, which Phil was saying, like, oh, black people weren't the only ones who got that money. Black farmers weren't the only ones. And you had other people saying, well, we not all black farmers. So how is this helping the black community? This doesn't help all black people. Disgusting. Exactly. Of course they don't. They don't even let people come on their platforms and challenge their ideas and have an honest discussion with them. No, of course. These are cowards. I don't think you're right about that one. I more believe that TBA is Professor Black Truth than I believe that he's secretly Tariq. Yeah, they stand for nothing but hate. That's what they stand for now. They finally got something to stand for. Hate. Got something to finally stand on. Hate and grifting.
Because we just watched Trump do it. And Roland's not explaining, well, why is it the Democrats and the Congressional Black Caucus with all their black attorneys, why is it they're not doing that? Roland, what's your excuse for them not doing it? And what's your excuse for not having a 4-hour program to talk about it? And your excuse for not grilling them about it when you go to see them? Then again, they load up your plate, or shall I say your feed bag, with catfish and nuggets, and that pretty much keeps you occupied. So occupied and satisfied at least till lunch.
These black kids can't work for free in the State Department, in internships, and in fellowships. You got to have money. These white folks going after that. Y'all Negroes real silent about that. But y'all love to holler, buck dance, and oh my God, he said there, support the Democrats. And these people are attacking every facet of Black America every single day. And y'all ain't saying shit. But you know why? It ain't no shock all of a sudden y'all start opening y'all mouths. It ain't no shock Amber Rose saying her bullshit to Nick Cannon on his podcast. You know why? Because y'all always show up around elections.
Exactly. Just like the Green Party, always showing up when it's when around elections to attack the Democrats. That's all you do. That's all you do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let them talk. But I'm gonna see if I can find that Green Party poster where they was like, "No, don't vote for Kamala." They didn't even tell people to vote for them. They didn't even tell people don't vote for both parties. They just said don't vote for Kamala.
Nigga, what?
People,
somebody got to get that sound bar or sound board. Yeah, somebody got to get that away from him immediately.
This microphone right here. This microphone right here has been a flamethrower now, going on 2 decades strong. This microphone has been a flamethrower, going on 2 decades consistently. No matter who's in the White House, no matter who, quote, wins an election, no matter who, quote, loses the election, this microphone has been mainlining and flamethrowing every single weekend, every holiday, while Roland is sitting up there eating up all the damn butterball turkeys in the store, causing a shortage. This microphone is on every single weekend for going on 2 decades, every holiday, with many of you joining me, joining the call to the faithful. Now, we've been talking about these issues the entire time, Roland.
Oh yeah, I forgot you was calling yourself the Black Ayatollah. No wonder you was like, meat rotting Iran right now. Call to the faithful.
Wouldn't know because he was loading up his plate with catfish and cornbread, so he wouldn't be aware of that. He's just saying stuff. And we've been here in the meantime and in between time. Consistently. So, no, sir. The only reason is because you only wake up when an election happens. We are here every day campaigning every single weekend. You see, we are not motivated nor controlled by an election. Elections are irrelevant to us except to keep score about who's the next person who's supposed to, quote unquote, be in charge. We are here all the time, every time, including holidays, which
How can elections be irrelevant? And you only hear holidays because you got no family. Remember, didn't you like get arrested for like doing revenge porn and stuff? And that's why nobody wants to be with you because you're a lame and you do like lame stuff like that.
you are never around for, Roland. Never. We are, and I do mean we, because I have thousands of people who join me every time there's a holiday, New Year's, 4th of July, Dr. King Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving. While everybody else is watching football games and other garbage, we sitting right here. This is the religion. Their religion is white supremacy. Our religion is black empowerment. And we are here every holiday.
A cult. Referring to yourself as a religion, you're not a religion. You're a cult. You're a cult. Of course, they're going to tune in every holiday to hear you speak about nonsense.
Holiday, something you
give you money to speak about nonsense. But keep going.
Never been able to say. You've never been able to say that because you can't do it because you never would. If anyone even suggested that you do it, you would tell them, I don't have to do that.
Oh, we got somebody who possibly FBA in the building. What do you mean Haitians have nothing to do with Louisiana? Are you telling me that or you telling Tariq that? You telling me that or Tariq that? You might be an FBA person from Louisiana. Somebody from Louisiana claiming FBA and that clip hurt your feelings. You from New Orleans, ain't you? Ain't you? That hurt your feelings, right? Everybody was Pan-Africanist. Like there's no great black person who wasn't Pan-Africanist in the last 500 years. None.
So, no, we didn't just show up because there's an election. We're here all the time. It's you who doesn't wake up till there's an election, and it just seems like we're here when you wake up. Yeah, we're here when you wake up because we here while you sleeping. While you sleeping and lounging and loafing and bull jiving, we working. And when you finally do take off your CPAP machine and shrug off your sleep apnea, you wake up groggily and see us working and you figure, oh, then it's election time. We've been here the whole time. It's been you who's been asleep.
Yeah, I find it real interesting how a whole bunch of these Simple Simon Negroes were real quiet last year. They were real quiet when Doge was destroying billions of dollars of contracts. They were real silent when they were getting rid.
Okay, whose billions of dollars of contracts were they destroying? Ours? Show me the black folk getting billions of dollars of contracts. He's acting like we were getting billions of dollars of contracts. Who are you talking about, Roland? I mean, I know some of your people were getting some of that stuff. I know some of them were. You folks, where's the billions of dollars of contracts, quote unquote, we were getting? Where's this fictional bill? What is he talking about? He just said billions of dollars. Okay, he can't be talking about us. He can't be talking about us. So what?
He is talking about us. A lot of black people lost contracting jobs. A lot of black companies lost contracts. Remember that attack on DEI that y'all claimed didn't affect us? Yeah. A lot of black people lost contracts. Lost contracting work, lost contract jobs, all that. Yeah. A lot of programs got cut, going to HBCUs and other things. Yeah. I think that racked up to some billions.
What the hell is he referring to? Because he can't mean us.
Billions of dollars of contracts. They were real silent when they were getting rid of grants for black health and sickle cell. Oh, I thought y'all was super black. Oh, they were slashing grants for black infant mortality. And
okay, folks, there were grants specifically for, quote, black infant mortality, because Joe Biden and the Democrats have never shrugged off telling us they can't do anything specifically for us, you big fat lion sack of.
Again, like what I said he's going to do. Saying that, oh, somebody else got some of that. Oh, it's not just for black people then. Like what part about programmatic don't you understand? Well, yeah, let's keep this going.
Crap, they said they can't do anything specifically for us. So now he's telling us that they were giving grants specifically for that. I thought you all said you couldn't do anything specifically for us. This is all looking real funny style and curious crazy right now, Roland. Are you sure you're not just making all this up and freestyling as you go along and making a fool of yourself? You sure you ain't doing that?
All those different things, but it was mighty quiet. Oh, but 2026 hits. And lo and behold, what happens? We got an election that's coming up. And all of a sudden, the usual suspects come running out from behind the rocks they've been hiding under. So I know some of y'all say, well, you know, I mean, you know, and then they always say, well, you know, you always calling us names. Y'all call me a tether, I'm going to call you punk ass some names.
No. Okay, well, Roland was talking about us for years first, so I mean that's a whole different matter. But that doesn't bother us one way or the other. If you were somebody that we respected, Roland, that would bother us, but you're not. So yeah, there's that.
And what I'm saying is, all y'all so-called super black people, y'all really anti-black. Because see, you're anti-black if you're quiet about what these corrupt thugs are doing, but then you ain't saying nothing. So
okay, Miss Professor with the white Nike hat on, white Nike baseball cap on, ma'am. Baby, you sitting there with damn me blonde twists on with your Beyonce shade of Fenty that you wearing. So you.
Oh, my fault. I forgot to address that part. Yes, Roland Martin. Y'all, he's right. Y'all was calling him tether, buck dance. Oh, you this, you that. Yeah, he has every right to disrespect y'all. That's why I disrespect y'all. Y'all started with the name calling, and look, he about to name call right now. About to engage in some anti-black woman misogyny right now. So yeah, people should call y'all names.
Need to fall back. No disrespect, ma'am, with your Instagram Zoom filter on. No disrespect, ma'am. You need to fall back. Yeah, this ain't your lane. You're not going to lecture us or, you know, sit up here and flex on us about blackness. I would be ashamed if I allowed that to happen. You need something a lot darker next to you before you can be indignant. No.
Oh, look. If you attacking her phenotype as not being good enough to be considered black, why you been so silent about Peanut? Because she looked way blacker than Peanut. And why were you bigging up Colin Kaepernick? She looked way blacker than Colin Kaepernick. And what was the other guy's name? I think his name is I forgot his name. That y'all was bigging up before too. Like, yeah, y'all was bigging up What about, oh, I just remember, what was her name? Melissa Speaks. You was on her AO stick, bro. Hard body. This woman right here looks way blacker than her.
Disrespect, baby. No disrespect. But I can't allow high yellow with blonde twists in their hair to sit up here and flex on me about blackness, ma'am. So the only person need to be looking funny style right now out the corner of their eyes is us at you. There's not enough melanin and not enough brunette in that hair for you to get this over the finish line, ma'am. So
exactly. Oh, you just made a great point. They was all meat riding Yvette Carnell. They was all strap riding her. This woman looks way blacker than Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell was even out here presenting as a white man. Yvette Carnell even talked about how so many times she would travel, people thought she was white, even when she had the dreads. But you was really strap riding her. Now you want to attack people's blackness? That's what I said. Nothing but childish ad hominem attacks. That's what you're doing. Like, you're not even addressing nothing Roland Martin saying. You completely deflecting from what Roland Martin saying by trying to now attack her appearance. Like, you're not addressing Roland. You just launching ad hominem attacks at his co-host. Disgusting.
So you can look crazy as you want to, but yeah, you needs backup. And them two niggas on your side.
High key, not low key. They high key. Anti-black woman.
That's not enough. So you need some backup, ma'am. Yeah, I cannot take black lecture from you. I just can't. I can't. It's not gonna happen. You ain't. What's your credentials? Where's your standing? You're gonna have to yank all that damn phony, onion ring hair out before you can talk to me like that. What? Yeah, baby, you're gonna have to get them curly fries. That curly fry hair you got going on right now, you're going to have to get that out of there. That golden brown curly fries with the Nike baseball cap, you're going to have to yank all that out first before you can side eye on this issue. So I know you, that's what I'm saying. Roland is bucking y'all up right.
All right, we're going to do this. Just, one more time for the one more time. As y'all can see on y'all screen. Y'all see Yvette Carnell, right? In fact, let's see if we can visit this. I was the one who put out this picture. Yvette flagged the dog shit out of my channel when I dropped this picture. She didn't know I had that. Look. This is her. The white man. Yvette Carnell. If she walked past you and you wasn't paying attention, and I said, where did the black woman, did you see a black woman walk past you? People will be like, not only did I not see a woman, I didn't see anybody black. What are you talking about? Like say you just, you're just walking down the street, you're not even paying attention. You just get a glance at somebody and you just keep going. And then somebody was to stop you and say, hey, did you see the black woman? You're going to be like, what black woman? You must have went the wrong way. No black woman came this way. And you was following behind her faithfully until Tariq went at her. And then you went to follow behind him faithfully. How dare you question somebody else's blackness? How dare you? Especially when we haven't seen you. We kind of did see you because, again, that's I'm 99% sure that's you. People say that's 100% sure that's you. You got exposed already, but I wasn't around for that. So, yeah, I'm just going to go with 99%. Disgusting. But let's get back to our video. Disgusting. Make sure you hit the like button, family. I see new people just came in. Okay.
Right now, it's not the flex you tell yourselves it is. I just had to read your other two buddies of Riot Act. Baby, it's not the flex you pretending to yourself it is. It's really not.
Because see, you're anti-black if you're quiet about what these corrupt thugs are doing, but then you ain't saying nothing. So I just want to know, all y'all with your little USB microphones, with your little YouTube shows, show me how many black families y'all have had on your shows whose loved ones have been shot and killed by the cops, but they can't call the DOJ. I'll wait. But they can't call the DOJ by the cops. Ones have been shot and killed. Y'all have had on your shows whose loved ones have been shot and killed by the cops, but they can't call the DOJ. I'll wait.
Okay. How about I name the black folk who got shot, killed, and harmed under Barack Obama and Joe Biden?
Deflection. Deflection, deflection, deflection. You see what I'm talking about? Deflection. Deflection.
And they couldn't call the DOJ either because Eric Holder
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. You're lying.
and Kirsten Clark were sitting there to defend not the black victims, but the white supremacist assailants. Oh, I'm sorry. I already gave that rundown, didn't I? And it was only a partial one. Oh, I'm sorry. I already did that, Roland. So that would actually be redundant of me at this point. We don't have a Justice Department to go to. We've never had one to go to. The so-called Justice Department is always back in the police. Remember Barack Obama, Blue Lives Matter?
Misrepresenting what Blue Lives Matter was. But keep going.
Remember Barack Obama and his Blue Lives Matter statue? That was his response to the murder of Trayvon Martin. That was his response. That was his response to the murder of Mike Brown. That was his. That's what he was on. He wanted to make sure where he stood. And Roland is telling all of us that those were the good old days, y'all. Remember? Roland is now trying to tell all of us a decade later that those were the good old days. Yeah, he didn't come with a back the Trayvon statute. No, it was back the police. Tamir Rice, meh. Small fries, back the blue. So just understand that. All this time, he's hoping that enough time has passed that everyone has forgotten about that, or that there won't be anyone with a significant enough audience to remind you all that that's what occurred. He's hoping that was going to be the case. You were wrong, Tubby. You were wrong.
Show me how many of y'all are standing up when black DAs are being attacked. Oh, I'll wait.
When black DAs are being
Shout out to Godlike 87 for becoming the newest member of my channel. Shout out to you, everybody. You know, you can become a member of my channel. Support my channel any way you can. I answer all questions. You can ask me to make videos, give me suggestions. If you're a member, I definitely got you. If you're not, or you haven't donated to me or whatever, I'll see what I could do. I might be able to get to it. I might not. I can't make you no promises. But for the members, people who donate, I can make you the promise. Oh, look what we got here. We got a Bozo. This must be a tether gathering. Why do you have Harlem Hellfighters in your name? The Harlem Hellfighters had Puerto Ricans in it. The Harlem Hellfighters had West Indians in it. So who's the tether? You're trying to tether yourself to a history that ain't got nothing to do with you. The Harlem Hellfighters would have spit on you, nigga. They would have spit on you. They would have spit on you. Matter of fact, we could do shows like that about the Harlem Hellfighters. Like, you're mad. We got a tether. You're the tether, trying to tether yourself to Black American history and people who would never fuck with you a day in their life. Never. Oh, I know you mad about that one. Well, let's keep it going. Oh, let's keep it going. Yep. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's what I like to hear. Exactly. Exactly. Trying to tether themselves to Black American history. We don't fuck with y'all niggas. You better go suck MAGA dick somewhere.
attacked. You mean like Letitia James, who proudly boasted that her concern was about LGBT and Asians? You mean that district attorney? How about Fannie the Mammy Willis? How about her? Not enough for you there? I think we just talked about, oh yeah, Mr. Dwayne Richardson. You know, the guy who thought that Carolyn Bryant was too sacred and too pure and righteous to indict. You mean these district attorneys? You mean those district attorneys, Roland? Are those the district attorneys you're referring to? I just want to make sure we're all having the same frame of reference. These are the same district attorneys, right? Those district attorneys, right? Folks, by the way, remember, Mike Brown was killed. Who was the district attorney? A Republican or a Democrat? McDonough? Who was the district attorney? Republican or Democrat, people? And when you take a look at all these other places, Eric Garner, Minnesota, who were the district attorneys again? Were those
Nonsense. We already addressed this. Shout out to Godlike. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 5. Whole lot of ones beat a whole lot of nuns any day of the week.
Republicans? Because according to Roland, as long as we can get away from the Republicans, we got somebody listening to us. We got folk acting on it. Really? Because I'm going over the places here and whatnot, and I'm like, where's Geronimo Yanez? Where's he at? Daniel Pentalio and his henchmen. By the way, folks, Daniel Pentalio and his henchmen. Daniel Pentalio was not by himself. But Jason, don't try it, nigga. But Jason, don't try it. It ain't gonna go the way you tell yourself it's gonna go. Let me talk. There's the problem. You won't let me talk. He don't want nobody to talk. And that's the problem right there. He won't.
Oh, come on. You're not doing that. Matter of fact, since we right here right now, let's do this real quick. To be thorough. As you can see on your screen, the Harlem Hellfighters, the 369th Infantry Regiment, were a celebrated all-black World War I unit, comprised of African Americans and Afro-Caribbean immigrant soldiers who fought under French command due to U.S. segregation. There you go. Again, you don't even know what the Harlem Hellfighters were. They would never rock with you, bro. You're a bozo. You're a dweeb. You better pay attention to why your FBA masters always attack New York. The New York you see now was the New York that was 100 years ago, 100 years plus ago. Stay out of our business. Stop trying to tether yourself to our history, bozo. Let's do this. Yeah, TBA, you got to hurry up because we're not going to do this all night.
Let us speak. He know he wrong. All right. Y'all go ahead and let this loaf of light bread, sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit head nigga sit up here and speak. You calling names. You can call all the names you want to, but you FBA frauds is just wrong. That's the problem right there. Let me talk. You talked about Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, well, you say they didn't do nothing. Okay, but they did do something. Remember? And George Floyd, y'all was all in the streets. He got killed, and they sent Derek Chauvin and the rest of them to prison. Yay! I got it. I got that nigga. I did it. Roland, can I get an autograph? I got him. Roland.
We're not doing that. Put him in speed and a half. No, sorry.
Roland, he's down with the count. I don't want you all to ever forget this. Keith Ellison, the Minneapolis Police Department, they were going to let all those people go. The same way that they did in Baltimore with Freddie Gray. See, we have to remember the names. We memorialize them and have to remember the names because we have to stay on top of that. They were going to let all of them go. Those of us who were here 6 years ago, you remember they were going to let all of them go. It was only because people took to the streets and would not leave them. That was what got them indicted. The district attorney and the attorney general of Minnesota was like, man, we're going to just wait till everything calmed down and then we're just going to let them go. Because you all remember they were sizing it up. It took them forever to get that done. Remember, they didn't issue immediate indictments. They didn't arrest anybody. It took a while. It took a long time for them to finally do that. And it was only because people were in the streets, people were turned up. That was the only reason that happened. Before that occurred, they were gearing up for the, well, it's police officers and, it's qualified immunity and we can't really second guess them. And, we're going to get together a grand jury, but we don't know how it'll go. And, it's so hard to convict the police. Folks took to the streets. Folks started turning up. You started shutting things down. Well, get their asses indicted. Hurry up and get them in jail because we about to not have a city to arrest them in. If we don't get them in jail, there won't be a city to put them in the jail in. Now, that was the only reason that happened. That wasn't because of Democrats. That was in spite of them. That was not because of them. That was in spite of them. They were trying to get them folk off and they were going to let them go just like they did in Baltimore. Just like they did in Memphis. Do we need to go down the list, y'all? How many places are we showing here where groups of police officers descended on one black person, murdered them in cold blood, and oh, well, we can't do nothing? And it's your Democrats sitting right there presiding while it happens. Roland's not naming any names. People, do y'all realize I spent the better part of the last hour and 45 minutes going down a laundry list of names, specific instances, specific incidents. And the bowling ball never does that. He doesn't go down specific instances, and he certainly doesn't debunk anything I said.
He debunked everything you said, and you've been doing a bunch of deflections this whole time. Like, you got to stop. You got to stop, bro. You have to stop. It's like you did a whole bunch of cartoon voices for like 2 minutes straight, and then you just started naming a bunch of names. How did you debunk Roland Martin?
He doesn't debunk any of it. He doesn't say, well, this didn't happen. So before anybody attempts to lie to you all or rewrite history, never forget, they were gearing up to sit up and tell us, well, there's not enough evidence. And, it wasn't unreasonable force. And, well, police officers are allowed to do that. And, he did have drugs in his system. That was the Democrats gearing that up. Right up until they saw the people wasn't going to have it. And then next thing you know, oh boy. So that wasn't Democrats who did it. That was the soil who did it. So go ahead and let Mr. Let me talk. I don't hear nothing else. Where'd he go? Well, he must have run back to Roland.
Show me how many of y'all are sitting here standing up for black women. 600,000 laid off, 700,000 black men. The black unemployment rate has gone up. Ain't it amazing how all of these loudmouths are mighty quiet about black unemployment?
Folks, black unemployment has always been high. That's what the hell I'm talking about. He's talking like these are new.
This is new, especially where the black unemployment is. The black unemployment in the black middle class, as in people working for the federal government, people working in professional jobs, people working in corporate America, was never this high. It was never like this, where we losing hundreds of thousands of jobs like that in 2 years of Trump being president? Come on now. Come on.
New things. Well, it was good before, but now it's bad. Folks, when has a black unemployment rate ever been good? When has it ever been anything other than disastrous? When have we? That's why I say we're going to be under attack. We're under attack. We've been under attack. This isn't new. This is the damn head game he's trying to play. Like, these are new things. This is a new occurrence. Everything was fine.
And so why would you make the attacks worse? We know that let's say, for example, like you said, it's never been great. Why are you using the fact that things never been great to allow things to get worse? What sense does that make? Turn it on. What sense does that make? Like, turn your brain on. Things were not good, so that's okay. Things were not great, and that's okay. So that I can use that as an excuse to let things get even worse. How does that make sense to you? How? Turn it on. Use your brain.
Right up until now. It's like, this is the way it's always been. This isn't new. This is the status quo. And now he's trying to convince all of us that everything was fine right up until now. We're really bad now. It's not really been bad. It's been this way. Oh, yeah. And who was president when those numbers spiked? Joe Biden, by the way.
Going sky high. But y'all still got smoke for Kamala and Joe. Now, I ain't got a problem if you have a real critique.
We have years of real critique. So you literally can't quote anything that we've said that is not a genuine, real, data-driven, fact-driven critique. You can't name a single one that isn't. What you don't like is that she doesn't like to pay you if you can't beat us. Kamala didn't want to pay you because you couldn't beat us. And ultimately, they just had so much money, they just threw you a few shekels anyway. But yeah, the real issue is not that we didn't have our dead rights. The real issue is you didn't have anything to refute us with because you can't.
of Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. But I noticed you're real quiet about Donald Trump. And my last point.
Okay. We're real quiet about Donald Trump, y'all. Real quiet. Real quiet about Donald Trump. We were on his bumper the moment he got in office. Real quiet about Donald Trump, right? Real quiet about Trump, right? Remember? Y'all were real quiet about him. Real quiet. MAGA, Trump, Musk, war. MAGA, Elon, Trump. Yeah, Candace. Yeah, all right. MAGA, Charlie Kirk, MAGA, white supremacy. Yeah, okay. JD Vance. I'm gonna leave that JD Vance one here because I keep reminding you about it. Trump, by the way. Yeah, we were real quiet, Roland. Been talking about it now the entire time, but we've been real quiet. Yeah. Every other week we're on them, and lately we've been on them every single week. But yeah, when you actually have a point, you just go make things up, and now you just make an ass of yourself. It just becomes that.
Before I go to my next guest, let me just go ahead and say this here because I ain't got a problem saying it. And I told y'all I'm trying not to cuss, and I was really trying to hold back. No.
When has Sassy Brown ever not done that, y'all? When has Potty Mouth Martin ever not done that? I'm trying not to cuss. You just need to try not to talk. That's what you need to do. Forget not cussing. You just need to not talk. That would help you more than anything if you didn't do that. That would help you more than anything. And somebody tell Tina Knowles she needs to quit trying to amen everything. Tina Knowles and Smelly Roland, Destiny's mama. Yeah, it's just that.
Again with the name calling. Hurry up. I'm about to put you in like double speed now.
That's the group we got going on here right now. It's Destiny's mama. They too old to be Destiny's child. But Tina Knowles and Smelly Roland here need to, I mean, not Kelly Rowland, but over there on the far right. Smelly Roland is, they need to do that instead. But it's, y'all, you chose the wrong dude to amen. It's not going to work.
No, leave it on the floor. I'm really trying hard not to cuss, and I really want to go there. But you sorry assholes. It's amazing how y'all had a whole lot of shit to say. Where Kamala? We don't see Kamala. Where Kamala? What's she doing? But y'all ain't got shit to say about JD Vance.
Nigga, what?
What? Nigga, what? What?
Nigga, this was a video you made 5 months ago. This is what I'm talking about. The same thing with Tommy. You made one video about JD Vance 5 months ago for something he said. How many videos did y'all make about Kamala Harris? About where she at? Why she ain't doing nothing? Oh, Kamala did this. Kamala did that. Oh, Kamala didn't do what Kamala didn't do that, or whatever the case may be. Kamala Harris is probably the most talked about vice president in the history of America. Probably neck and neck with Dick Cheney. I don't even think Dick Cheney was attacked as much as Kamala Harris was. And you showing one video you made about JD Vance 5 months ago. And the funny thing is, you watch Roland's video in advance. You literally lined this up for defense to defend yourself against Roland Martin. That's why when somebody told me you was putting videos on private, I can see that because I'm like, how come it's only one video about Roland Martin? I know you talk about Roland Martin all the time. So you purposely launched your channel up and did all this to try to attack Roland Martin, and you still failed. Shout out to everybody still in the building. We almost done with this.
I've been on JD Vance's bumper 5 months ago. I did not bring receipts. I brought invoices. I do not tell you what you paid. I tell you what you owe. So there was a reason why I showed you all this from the beginning and told you keep this in mind about JD Vance. Almost 2.5 hours, people. 5 months ago. 2.5 hours 5 months ago. Not 5 days ago. 5 months ago. And I talked about JD Vance. I talked about him last night. I keep reminding you all. That's Peter Thiel's mole in the government. That's Peter Thiel's mole. And I keep reminding you all, the Afrikaner Peter Thiel, this is his agent in the government. And never forget what his mission is supposed to be, which is why he is second in command, which is why he is the youngest. He's got time. Peter Thiel chose a young horse. That gives him time. So they don't have to move quickly with JD Vance because he's younger, so they got time for him. They have time to bring him, and if they need to bring him back. So I've had my eye on him the whole time. It's Roland who wasn't. So I wanted to keep that in mind right there.
That's a lot. And again, he was talking about how I was treating Kamala Harris in her time as vice president and even as a private citizen. Like Justin March said, yeah, even as a private citizen. Y'all still are like, where Kamala at? Let something bad happen to black people right now. Y'all gonna be the first thing I'm gonna say is, where's Kamala Harris?
If you all, but by the way, why does Roland care about JD Vance so much? Because you heard he just said y'all didn't say anything about JD Vance. Okay, well, I wonder what his beef against JD Vance is exactly. Certainly, it is something that centers on us and our people that he has an issue with, right?
To say about JD Vance? Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, you Simple Simon Negroes. Where Kamala? Where's she at?
Also, he's talking about all of you bozos in the so-called new black media, not just you. Because again, you're trying to defend the new black. You're trying to make it seem like Roland Martin is personally calling you out. Super disingenuous. Super disingenuous.
She ain't doing nothing. What's she doing? She ain't doing nothing for our people. JD Vance ain't doing a damn thing. In fact, JD Vance is dogging black folks. JD Vance still ain't been held accountable for the bullshit he said about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. That was a lie. Ohio, that was a lie. Folks, Vance, something. In fact, JD Vance is dogging black folks. JD Vance still ain't been held accountable for the bullshit he said about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. That was a lie.
Nigga, what?
Oh my God.
Did I call it? Or
you didn't call anything. You literally watched this video in advance and then you came up with a bunch of comebacks for the video and you're making it seem like you said he was going to do all this in advance and you watched the video live and he did it. Like what I'm doing with you right now. This is not calling it. You don't get to watch something and then talk about it as if you don't know what's already going to happen. This is the same thing I called Tariq about. Tariq would watch things happen, but because he knows his audience doesn't watch anything but him, he'll watch things happen. Then he'll put up a Twitter post claiming that, oh, I have a feeling XYZ is going to happen. And then a couple of minutes later, or even when he goes live or whatever, oh, look, remember when I told y'all, watch this space, or remember when I told you this guy stinks, or this doesn't look right, this doesn't smell right, what? Look, I was right. But it'd be old information. And because he's talking about JD Vance lying about Haitians eating cats, somehow that's your proof positive that he doesn't actually care about Black Americans, Native Black Americans. Yeah. Like this is your big trump card. No pun intended.
Or did I call it? Hey, Tina Knowles, get your head back up with them crispy curly fried twists you got. Get your head back up, ma'am. Get your head back up. Don't be hiding it now. I wanted y'all to know about that.
I think you got Kamala Harris confused with your mother. Kamala Harris is the most accomplished Black woman in American history. I think you got her confused with your mother. But I think I'm going to ban you now. When I see you up again, I will probably ban you for that disrespect. Exactly. Losing to a pre-recorded video that he watched already. And he purposely made things to put in place so he could try to debunk Roland Martin. Losing to a pre-recorded video. You can't make this up. Can't make this up.
I want to remind you all because I know where I'm steering this thing. I'm not just wandering around. I wanted you all to hang tight with me so that you see where this comes from. Because wasn't he just a few moments ago telling us that why it's only 25%? Why does he not get credit for the other 75%? Wasn't he just asking that? Why is it that he doesn't get credit for the 75% of his lineage? And I said, because you are obviously beholden to the 25%, and that's clearly where your allegiance and deference is. And he didn't even make it out of this video before he turned right around and proved every syllable I said was right. He didn't even make it more than a couple of more minutes before he...
I can't believe, like, this will drive you insane. We watched this man admit that he watched this already. Now he's talking as if he never saw this. He just made a prediction and it came true. And he got a dumb audience going for it.
He reverted back to his real ethnic identity. Exactly the way I told you he would. There it is. Yeah, that right there. That's what we're talking about. So you and the other hyphenations, I'm Haitian American, Jamaican American, I'm Haitian Black Jamaican, I'm Caribbean American, Cape Verdean, I'm Afro American, Dominican American, Puerto Rican American, Cuban. Okay, Puerto Rico's American, I get down. I'm just saying Latino American, Cuban.
Yep. Shout out to all those groups you named. And also you disrespected Hakeem Jeffries, the highest ranking Black person in Congress, highest ranking Black person in Congress history. He's Cape Verdean. Shout out to Hakeem Jeffries.
Costa Rican, Virgin Island. Okay, we're just not playing bull crap, man. We're just not playing the bull crap no more. That's all. So when we start hearing them little cues that let us know, it's okay, you one of them, because you can't be fake forever. You all are not smart enough or disciplined enough to be fake forever.
Exactly. Anytime they attack any group of black people, that's an attack on all groups of black people. Just like Trump during COVID, Trump talking about the China virus. What was the response to that? Stop Asian hate. Because when you attack Chinese people like that, that is a direct, that's also a direct attack on all Asians. I was gonna say indirect, but no, that's a direct attack because we live in America. This is a race-first country. If you demonize an ethnic group, you are by default demonizing the whole entire racial group.
And you're gonna let us know when you off code, and there you go. See, here's the thing: when you say black, you done said everything. We're not the ones delineating ourselves from you. You're the ones who delineated yourselves from us, and we just said, you know what? From now on, everyone will be required to hold that energy. You said everything when you said black. If you are on code with black, and that means that you would be on our side, on our defense, as we are on everybody else's. This is where you're gonna sit here and try to utilize and exploit it for your own personal benefit. And okay, you FBAs defend me, and then I'm a free agent the rest of the time. It's like, okay, we just stop playing that game. So you know what? Be a Haitian. That's what you need to do, Roland. You need to go be a Haitian. And when the thing comes down, you and the Haitians need to get out there and swing it for yourself. That's what needs to happen. Do not call us. When Trump got in the office, what was the first thing that Roland did, y'all? He got the Haitians. We need some help over here. When they started giving the Haitians the hell down there in Del Rio, Texas, Joe Biden was like, everybody else can stay, except y'all Haitians. What did Roland do? They gathered up a bunch of Haitians. We really need FBA to come to our rescue. And I was sitting right there proud to say, oh, hell no. We ain't going.
When did Roland Martin ask FBA to come to their rescue? And the whole black community was mad about what was happening under Biden with the Haitians at the border.
Going nowhere. We ain't stomping nothing. Donald Trump got in office. He saw, oh, hell, ain't nobody coming to the defense. Man, look here, round them up. Round them up. And as far as I'm concerned, you should be happy with that. You're very happy.
Oh, so Donald Trump only rounded up Haitians because FBA wouldn't defend them. Look at this clown. They really think they got power like that.
The buck dance, you're very happy to bed wench, you're very happy to ass kiss. Call Zaddy. Get your ass on Tinder and call White Zaddy. Get your ass on Tinder and on Twitter and go ahead and bug dance and go get Becky to come bail you out. Come get them to come do that for you. We look on your timelines and whatnot, you are very proud to let us know that you are Christians and you ain't black. You know, he keeps denigrating black. Y'all super black, super black. So you're not Rolling? Oh, y'all folks who super black. We never called ourselves super black. We just call ourselves black. There is no super to it. You're either in or you're out. As I just said, when you say black, you've said everything. And yet he's denigrating it and mocking it. You all notice that. He's mocking y'all pro-blacks and y'all super blacks. Okay, Roland, this is why we distinguished ourselves from you. And so when you and your fellow Haitians
on social media, on YouTube, on Twitter,
get yourselves in trouble, you need to call the Haitian delegation and get them. Call Karine Jean-Pierre. We all saw how well that turned out. Go call her. Don't call us, because we're going to be quick to tell you kiss our asses. We're not here to back you up.
Nobody. They never helped nobody. Look at they boy right now, Adonis, trapped in Romania. They getting any money to him? They putting any pressure on Trump to save him? Can they even go save him themselves because they the mighty FBA? No.
So go be Haitians is what you need to do. You need to pick up and carry your ass over there and go be Haitian. Since you want to put a hyphenation and you want to put your emphasis and your focus on, wait now, what's happening to the Haitians though? They doing stuff, as you just articulated, they've been doing stuff to the rest of us here all over the place, nonstop the entire time, although you think things were great when Democrats in office, so apparently you don't think it was all the time. Well, I say it was all the time, but he wants to make a special dispensation and special acknowledgement for Haitians. Yeah, everybody else catching hell, but really, what about the Haitians though? Now, what about J.D. Vance? Now, you all notice, when I talk about J.D. Vance, I'm talking about when J.D. Vance was defending those Republicans up, the young Republicans in New York, attacking us. Notice Roland didn't say a word about that. I did a whole program focusing on J.D. Vance, specifically J.D. Vance, defending the young Republicans who were basically giving us Hitler talk. You know who didn't say anything about it?
That's a lie. And on top of that, you're giving the Hitler talk with the blood and soil talk. With the homeland talk.
Pork Rind Martin. That's the one who didn't say anything. He didn't say a word. Roland Hog Moggs didn't say anything about that. But he's very offended. He didn't care about what J.D. Vance said about us, the 75%. He didn't care what J.D. Vance said about the 75% of his lineage, alleged lineage. But he's very offended about the 25%. Now that he's taken out time to attack us over. He's not even attacking J.D. Vance. He's attacking us. over a group of individuals who should not even be on the soil in order to get insulted.
Again, Nazi talk.
Deal with it, nigga.
By the way, one more thing. They shouldn't even be standing on the soil to be insulted, Roland. So once again, these are your tether family values. They shouldn't even be standing here. Even if they think they're owed reparations, you're owed reparations back in Hispaniola, not in Cleveland, Ohio. You're not owed anything in Cleveland, Ohio. Everything you're owed is back in Hispaniola. So they shouldn't even be here to get insulted or
why are you calling it the debunked colonial name? Why are you not just calling it Haiti?
offended or deported back to the wonderful world of Hispaniola. They shouldn't even be here for that. He's not going to bring that up either, by the way. Maybe that's because he's ashamed of it. Could be that. Though, yeah, he didn't say anything about JD either. Not about us, but about his 25% of his lineage. Oh, now that he's very much offended over.
Yeah, you just lost to a pre-record. I think we're gonna wrap it up. Because it's getting super late. It's about to be 1:30. We're gonna let him go a little bit longer, but we probably gonna wrap this up. I think I fulfill my duties to cover this episode.
To this day, that's the part that bothers him. Not what he said about us. That doesn't bother him. What he said about Haitians. And this is right after he said, well, I don't get no credit for the 75%. No, nigga, you don't. And I want you all to remember it so that when I brought you back to this moment, it would all be wrapped up and make sense.
Exactly. Why can't Haitians be here? Are you saying anything about Donald Trump's family being here? Didn't Donald Trump's family come here to America illegally? You have anything to say about that? What about the white people? What about the Asians? You never hear them talk like this with anybody else. That's why they're a xenophobic hate cult. Anti-black xenophobic hate cult. What's it called? Afrophobia? When you hate all things black, like black people? Yeah, that's what these people are. They say these nonsensical things. So Haitians have no right to be here, but somehow Chinese people got a right to be here. Italians got a right to be here. Mexicans got a right to be here. Canadians got the right to be here. Germans got a right to be here. Arabs got a right to be here. The Japanese got a right to be here. Everybody got a right to be here. But somehow when black people from other places come here, it's a problem. Nonsense. Yeah, exactly. His wife got a right to be here. Everybody got a right to be here. Everybody else just here. But magically, if anybody else come here, they flee in while they're here. They shouldn't be here. This and that and blah, 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 blah. Constant nonsense. Just nothing but xenophobia and hate. And y'all wonder why I'm so hard on them. And I call them a hate cult every time. And I just can't be concerned about somebody who might hear me talking like this and say, oh, you're being too mean or you're turning me off. Exactly. Y'all didn't go this hard when Trump brought all those white South Africans here. Y'all didn't go this hard when he was bringing the Ukrainians here. None of that. The Ukrainians came here and got so much free stuff. It's ridiculous. Y'all ain't see, like how many videos y'all did about that? How many? Like how many?
Full circle.
JD Vance ain't doing a damn thing. In fact, JD Vance is dogging black folks. JD Vance still ain't being held accountable for the bullshit he said about Haitians in Springfield, Ohio. That was a lie. But y'all super black folk can holler about, man, y'all sitting here, yeah. And I know all y'all gonna make your little videos. And I'm gonna close with this here. See, I don't need to get clicks mentioning your name because your names are meaningless.
Okay, if our names are meaningless, why are you talking about us?
Because y'all part of a white nationalist psyop. See, y'all are part of a bigger thing, and he's addressing y'all. Y'all are meaningless. Y'all nobody. If y'all was to get demonetized today or tomorrow, y'all would be off YouTube. Because it's like, oh, I can't make any money doing this. I'm out of here. You don't actually believe in this. You don't actually love this. This is not where your heart is at. Like, come on now. And again, you mention Roland all the time. All the time. And he's calling y'all out for helping white supremacy, which he has every right to do. And again, you was pretending like he was addressing you directly. He never addressed you directly, Bozo. He was talking about all of y'all.
I mean, that you're just contradicting. When people do this kind of stuff, y'all, it's really silly. If our names are meaningless, then it would literally be silly for you to be talking about us.
He's not saying your name. You making it seem like he's talking about you specifically. He's talking about FBA as in y'all bozos who attack him, and that's it. And y'all part of white supremacy. That's it. Like I'm being attacked by people whose names are meaningless. I'm putting them up on the screen and I'm roasting them and I'm sending them on their way. There's some meaning in that. He doing some straightening around here. Ain't that what y'all say? Y'all be doing some straightening with Roland Martin doing some straightening.
I mean, I don't talk about the guy who was panhandling on the street corner this morning. I mean, he's not, no disrespect to him. I mean, he's not meaningless, certainly not in the internet sense. So, Roland, I mean, if we're meaningless, then why in the hell did you devote all this time during your program specifically to troll us? Why, if we're meaningless? I mean, basically you're saying you're off your meds, I guess. So that literally makes no sense to say that. So very clearly we are very relevant and very meaningful because you've dedicated a lot of time and ire and rising blood pressure. And in your case, it could be deadly for doing that. So yeah.
Like, if I add 10 of y'all up,
like Black Voltron, deadly like that for that bozo. Matter of fact, let's violate Black Voltron real quick.
You still don't equal this audience. So
then you go down to his comment section, y'all. Y'all can go down to the comment section on this video and go take a look at who's in the comment section. Go down to the comment section on this video and you can see who's in the comment section. And go take a look at who's commenting on his videos, y'all. So he doesn't want to go down that road either. That's not the flex you tell yourself it is either.
He does have a bigger audience than you, and you're mad. You're big mad. And because you got your little flunkies to go in the comment sections and say, we hate you, Roland, you're a tether, just proves his point.
You're going to need to use my name to get you some clicks. So I'm going to go ahead and help you. All y'all can kiss my ass because you're actually anti-black. Because you don't defend black people. You don't stand up for black people. You don't invite the black folks on your shows. But what you do is you criticize other black people who stand up for black folks, and y'all use your little silly ass cover of you work dancing for the Democrats. Oh, you a shield. No. See, smart black people understand that. See,
Exactly. Well, yeah, let's violate Black Voltron before we get out of here. Let's violate Black Voltron. Let's see. Share this tab. Let's see. Is it going through? Yep. We're going to violate Black Voltron one time before we get out of here. Yeah, let's do that.
It isn't just the denial.
No, look, nobody hates people for being.
Come on, man. Like, don't protect Black Voltron. Let's go. That's Black Voltron, y'all. Yeah, let's violate Black Voltron. I think I got another video violating Black Voltron. Rest in poop, bozo. Let's see. We got more videos violating Black Voltron. Do we? Where you at? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, let's bring that back. Yeah, we violated you. Talking about somebody got could be deadly. Like for that fuck nigga. Yeah, we back. Oh, shout out. We got another 5. Thank you, Black Adam. Much appreciated. Thank you. Because yeah, I'm going through it tonight because it's like I gotta cover this bozo. But again, I gotta be complete for the people. Thank you again. Yep. What about Trump's son? Y'all ain't calling him no anchor baby. Exactly. Needs to be debunked. And y'all meaningless. Yeah, I super violated him. Fuck him.
One moment. That's right, folks. Even when I'm on the road, even when I have the mobile podcasting studio on the road, I've got a cooler over here with necessary electrolyte enhanced beverages, And of course, the Pepto-Bismol, you would have figured that this is just to protect my ulcers. This is not really anything. It's just to protect them and make sure it doesn't flare up. And I can feel a flare up coming on right now based on what I'm about to hear next. So that's why I'm getting myself ready, because
You got ulcers? See, you about to go out like Black Voltron. You better get off this podcast and you better start taking care of yourself.
predicting a flare up based on what's about to be said.
For black folks, and y'all use your silly ass cover. Oh, you vote this for the Democrats. Oh, you a shield. No. See, smart black people understand that. See, A. Philip Randolph knew what he was doing in 1948 when Truman was running against Wallace and Strom Thurmond and also against Dewey. So he knew what was going on. So even though Wallace was a socialist, a progressive, he was putting pressure on Truman to use his power in the White House. And so Truman knew that he could not win the election if he did not desegregate the armed forces, if there was no civil rights plank in the 1948 Democratic National Convention platform. See, some of y'all are so clueless about politics that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about, because all you're doing is smacking your gums and saying nothing.
Okay. Roland just slam dunked on himself. And of course, with a head the size of an NBA regulation basketball, I can understand why it is he wouldn't understand that. But Roland just slam dunked on himself. And by the way, crazy visual, Roland Martin getting stuffed through an NBA, basketball rim. What?
Y'all so gay. Like, come on, y'all be calling Roland Martin a honey bun. Y'all be just like, come on, man. Y'all gotta cut it out. Y'all gotta come out the closet. Like, I knew this was like some sexual tension with y'all hating on Roland.
Crazy visual. Someone can go AI that visual right quick. It would just be insane. It really, really would.
Why would you want somebody to AI that?
All right, folks.
Want somebody to AI him naked too?
First of all, let's get two things straight here, bowling ball. Number one, this is in 1948. That's the first thing. This is 2026. This ain't 1948. Second of all, you damn sure ain't A. Philip Randolph. By any stretch of the imagination, you are not A. Philip Randolph at all. So for you to sit up here and pretend that your butt dancing and ass kissing is 4D chess, I want y'all to understand what he's telling us is what he's doing is 4D chess. This is all a part of a well thought out, calculated strategy. What he's doing, all this ass kissing he's doing, this is actually strategy, y'all. This is chess, y'all. You're just too silly and stupid to understand that he's playing chess, y'all. Did you hear what he said occurred? That you had to that A. Philip Randolph and them, they were demanding tangibles specifically for us. The very thing that Roland is telling us that we need to quit demanding from the Democrats. And what's the example that he gives? A. Philip Randolph making specific demands for tangibles for us. That's the example he goes to. The very thing that he's attacking us for demanding today, that we're saying there must be specific tangibles specifically for us in order to get our support. You have to give us specific tangibles. So what you have to do, desegregate the military, have a civil rights plank on your platform. And all we're saying is, yeah, Roland, that's exactly what we're demanding today. We're demanding.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Because Kamala Harris put out a whole plan for black men. And it wasn't good enough. Even though Trump was talking about putting black men in prison, talking about deporting black men, talking about executing black men. Talking about black men need to lose their jobs because of DEI. We getting rid of DEI.
Ending that the Democrats make specific, tangible promises. What they've given Jews, what they've given Latinos, what they've given LGBT, what they've given white women. Yeah, we want that right there. Specific tangibles. We want you to tell us what you're going to do for us that's going to get you that vote. The same way that you just articulated with A. Philip Randolph. Just like that. And Roland is giving us the example, but then telling us don't do that. He's telling us that, yeah, that's the example and that's the goal. And then we say, yes, that's exactly what we want. He said, no, y'all shut them down. Stop trying to do that. Stop trying to do that. With A. Philip Randolph, he can demand that. What you need to do is you need to demand Medicare and Medicaid. But there's already a Medicare and Medicaid program. You just need more of that. But A. Philip Randolph wanted things that were not there already. Not stuff that already was for everybody. He wanted specific things for.
Exactly. Not only he talked about reparations for white men, he talked about making sure black people don't get reparations. He campaigned on being anti-reparations. He ran one of the most anti-reparations campaigns in American history. Thank you. I appreciate your support too.
For us. And he wanted them to make specific promises and to write that in their platform to say, this is what you're going to get if you vote for us. To everybody, black, white, when you vote for us, we're going to put this civil rights thing into effect.
Well, also, during that time, we had something called clientism. Clientism pretty much doesn't exist anymore. Everything must be programmatic now. And on top of that, you guys are not organized enough to do clientism. Where's your organization? Where's your A. Philip Randolph going to a Democrat running in office and saying, this is what we want? Something clear, cut, concise. This is what we want. It's actionable. It would help the country. Matter of fact, I'll scrap that part because then y'all try to use that to straw man me. This is what we want. You can do it. Now make it happen if you want our support. When have y'all done that? When have y'all done that? Inquiring minds want to know. When have y'all done that?
But yeah, we want you to go and do that. That when we elect you, that's what we're going to get. And you tell all the folk who want to vote for you that when you vote for us, you're not going to be pushing black folk on the outside and telling them that everybody else going to get something they're going to do without. That they can vote for something for the rest of you, but that you're not going to vote for something for them. No, you're going to vote for us and they're going to get something too. It might be meager and modest, but they're going to get something. We're not going to do this thing where everybody votes and everybody votes to agree. All right, well, we all agree that sacrificing the black folk is the cost of keeping peace between the rest of us. So we'll all get something, but we all agree the blacks don't get nothing, right? Right. All right, good. We're good. No. You want our support? You are going to tell everybody, and here's what we're going to do for black folk. Here's what we're going to do specifically for them. We done did plain specific for the rest of you, including break the law. We have broken and ignored the law across the board, everywhere from Israel to the southern border, where black folk are concerned. It's like, okay, it's time for you to say do or die, no matter what, by any and all means necessary. We are going to present and deliver tangibles specifically for the descendants of the American slaves. Unapologetic, unadulterated, and absolutely uncompromising. Now, it might not be gigantic, it might not be enormous, but it will be real, it will be tangible, and it will be measurable. Oh yeah, and it'll be just for them.
Oh my God. I can't believe this. Y'all attacked Kamala Harris so much, claiming that all the stuff she was offering wasn't good enough. It wasn't just for black people. Like we brought up about the reparations with the farmers. Joe Biden gave reparations to black farmers, and y'all attacked him for that. That's something real. That's something real. Obama talked about doing criminal justice reform, and he did it. Y'all attacked him for that, talking about all black people ain't criminals. And again, where is your organization? Where are you coming to the Democrats? See, that's another thing you talk about. Oh, we trying to do that. Where is your Philip A. Randolph to come up with something? Like you keep saying tangibles. What is this tangible? How does it work? What exactly is it that a Democrat can say, I will do this? What is it? And don't say reparations, because if I ask you what reparation is, what is reparations supposed to be? What does it look like? Y'all ain't got no answer. Because when y'all was asked that before, y'all was saying, oh, they need to just figure it out. They figured it out for everybody else. So just figure it out for us. You're not serious.
You know, like what A. Philip Randolph was doing and got. Like what A. Philip Randolph was doing and got. Exactly what Roland is demanding that we not do. Although, did you all notice he did want specific tangibles for Haitians? Oh yeah, you notice now he did demand specific tangibles for Haitians. He wants them to get their refugee assistance, and he wants them.
Back to the demagoguery. And again, how y'all gonna get the boogeyman said it right, bro? How y'all gonna get reparations if y'all spend all day talking about immigrants? Where is your super PAC? Again, y'all got millions of dollars floating around in that new black media space. Y'all can't put together a super PAC with tens of thousands of dollars in it. Y'all don't even got to put it up the money up yourself. Y'all just could create one and get your audience to donate to it. Like y'all do for y'all DVDs. $250,000 for an AI DVD, but you ain't got $25,000 for a pack. Come on now. Make it make sense.
Them to get their path to citizenship, even though they are illegal lawbreakers. And he wants them to get preferential and deferential treatment. Well, he wants specifics for them. And he's very upset if they don't get their specifics. He wants specific tangibles for his people, the Haitians. Now, for the other 75% of his bloated DNA, well, he doesn't want anything for them. He wants them to shut up. He's telling them, be quiet. That we need to focus on Haitians getting tangibles. Because now he'll be at peace and he can sleep well. We need Haitians to get tangibles. But you FBI, y'all need to shut the hell up. All you need to do is make sure the Haitians are good. So you all need to mobilize and stop the evils who are going after the Haitians. Well, okay, what are we going to get? What you're going to get is the satisfaction of making sure that you stop them from going after Haitians, okay? I could keep going. We've gone on quite a bit here. This had to be comprehensive. This had to be comprehensive tonight. I was actually going to try to wrap this up in the first hour, but it had to be comprehensive tonight. I had to be comprehensive here because I wanted to go into this next part. The next part I'm going to say here is going to be directly addressed to you, Roland.
All right. So, yeah, I'm complete. I covered this. I covered everything. Maybe tomorrow when we get back to our regular scheduled programming, I might just let him do this little part where he addressed Roland Martin. But otherwise than that, I have fulfilled my obligations. I have covered it, and I was comprehensive. He said he was comprehensive in 2 hours. I was comprehensive in I did 3 hours right now. I think I did 2 hours yesterday with this. So I was comprehensive. I was comprehensive. So yeah, we're gonna end this tonight. When did he say that? What did he say, Boogeyman? Exactly. Because they're working with white supremacy. It ain't gonna be a real part 3 because it's just gonna be me covering him, but it's gonna be a part of, you know, like my regular videos when I got a bunch of topics and I just cover, because this part where he's gonna address Roland is not that long. I'm assuming it's not that long. Hopefully it's not. But yeah, so it's gonna be kind of like a part 3. Matter of fact, it's gonna be like an epilogue because the part was to cover what he had to say about Roland. Now he's about to go rant about some personal thing he wanted to say about Roland and not cover the part where Roland was talking. So maybe that'll be an epilogue. We call it the epilogue. Matter of fact, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, about Haitians he went in only things for Haitians. He never said that. Never said that. But anyway, we're gonna end this video. Shout out to Justin March for gifting 5 memberships. You can go get your own memberships if you want to. Shout out to the Boogeyman for the $4.99. Shout out to the Boogeyman again for the $4.99, doubling up. He's my newest mod. Shout out to Godlike for becoming a member. Yep. And shout out to him again for the donation. Shout out to Black Adam. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah, I'm going to end this. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I had to come on late, and I'm so sorry it ran late like this. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll definitely be back tomorrow because, like I said, I'm off all week. So I'll be back. So I'm going to end this video here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out or the share button. And on that note, family, peace. Yeah, he was saying that he's looking for tangibles just for Haitians, which is a lie. But yeah, I'm ending it. I'm out. Peace, everybody.